Good morning and welcome to Sewing Street. I'm John Cole Morgan and I am beyond excited today because we have got so many amazing things in one show. I feel like I've won the Sewing Street lottery that I get all the great products for one morning. It is phenomenal. So sit back, relax, get your cup of tea ready and welcome. Today you are here nice and early, so you get to see our early bird special. We have got these fabulous quilt labels. Now, I absolutely adore quilt labels, and I think it's really, really important. Any quilts that you make, even if you just use a Sharpie, you need to label your quilt. Say who made it, when you made it, what year you made it, why you made it, where you made it. Because if it ends up in one of the V&As or one of the wonderful museums one day, people are always going to look in to see what it is. All the quilts that I buy nowadays, which are the very, very vintage ones, some of them are 150, 200 years old. Now, we're just killed to know who made them. And these quilts will outlive us, which is wonderful and terrible. But it's great then to be able to have your name on the back of them. And we've got the most fantastic deal for you today. You've got 2 quilt label panels here. You've got this wonderful colorway here, 27 labels on that one. But if that's not enough, we've got a second one for you as well in a different colorway, and both of these are available to you together for $9.98. That's going to be saving you £6 this morning. And just look at the detailing on them. And it's not just for quilting. These can be, imagine making one of your beautiful bags from Debbie's books or anybody else's patterns, and look at how beautiful that would be on the inside. It doesn't have to say one of the famous brands. It can have your name on it and be just as loved. Look at these. They are really, really special. And what I love is the larger ones, you can use the embroidery stitches on your machines. Otherwise, the small ones, I suppose you could do the embroidery stitches as well. And the great thing is around the badges as well, you could actually stitch around it. So if you cut the 1/4 inch around there, you could then be able to put your details in there. And if you haven't got enough, you can then stitch around that when it's actually on your quilt. And the detailing on these is so special. See, they've given me so many new things and so many wonderful products. I haven't got space on the set to show you. But you can see just how special these are. Really, really lovely. So these are the colours that you're going to get as well. Are they orange and teal and the pink hearts? They are just adorable, really, really special, and such a great price. I try to label all of my quilts, but of course I never get round to it because I want to do it with wonderful labels. And now I've got them, I can. It's just that it's one of the, you know what it's like. You make a quilt and you think, oh, that's going to take another 3 hours. I can't be bothered right now. I'm sick of the sight of this quilt. You've had Sylvia bind it for you and everything, and you just can't face looking at it anymore. But yeah, it's a very, very good thing to do. And it's really important because the provenance of your products that you make, people think that handmade things aren't actually worth a label, but they really are. It's got all of your love and all of your time in it. And that's just a really nice way of being able to do it. A really, really lovely product there, completely exclusive to Sewing Street. And the 2 of these panels are $9.98. And don't forget, if you've managed to purchase one of these today, you've also got your £3.95 P&P, one price all day. So it doesn't matter how many times you check out today, it'll only be $3.95. You won't pay any more if you check out throughout the day at different times, only the one P&P all day. If you haven't shopped with us before, best way to do that would be on our website, www.sewingstreet.com. Failing that, if you'd like to call our wonderful local UK-based call centre. Those words were in my head in order. Sorry, it's too early in the morning. I haven't had my coffee. If you'd like to do that, you can call 0800 001 4433. And they are incredibly helpful. They're able to answer a majority of your questions. And if they can't answer your question, they'll be able to call you back and give you the answer when they've got it. Really nice way to do it. If you want to drop us a message in the studio today, we'd love to hear from you. We've now got an email in the studio, so you can drop us an email on studio@sewingstreet.com, and that way we've got Joe and we've got Hannah, both of them are monitoring it as well, so it'll be a really nice way of being able to stay in touch. If you've got any questions about any of the products or want to see anything again, you can drop us a line there very, very easily. On our social media platforms, we've got 2 Facebook pages, the first one being our channel run Facebook page, which is Sewing Street TV. So to get that, you type in your the typing bar at the top. I know there's the window, the thing at the top, you know what I mean, where you type in the address bar, that's the word I was looking for, www.facebook.com/Sewing Street TV. If you'd like to look at the fans page, just type in Sewing Street Fans on the search engine on Facebook, and you'll come up with a wonderful page there as well, where you all seem to post all of your makes and everything, and it's fantastic community there, and it's a really nice way to be able to stay in touch with each other and ask questions. Instagram, you've got, Instagram is at Sewing Street, and don't forget our YouTube page. Our YouTube page has got the most fantastic compendium of all of the shows that we've had since Valentine's Day, and it will have every demonstration, every different product that we've had, and you'll be able to go back and look at that at any time. To find that, you go into youtube.com, search Sewing Street, and make sure you subscribe, because that way every time we've got a new video going up, you'll be able to see it. But I'm going to do a very, and I've been told I'm not allowed to do this, but I am beyond excited. As you all know, I adore Tula Pink. And we have got these. I'm not going to go through them now because I'm not allowed to do this at the minute. But if you know Tula Pink, her homemade collection, we've got layer cakes, we've got charm packs, we've got the hexagons. I've not seen these in this country before. I've had to go to America to buy them, and it's so much better to have them here. And we've got the jelly roll. And I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to do that and go like this and say I used 2 jelly rolls to make this quilt because I wanted that beautiful line all the way through it. So it is just it's the most brilliant day for me. I am so excited. All of them are on the web now, so I'm only mentioning it to you. So those of you in the know, you know what Tula's like, you know what the homemade collection is, so you can go and check. I'm doing a demo of this quilt at 9 o'clock, and then at 10 o'clock I'll be able to show you all those beautiful fabrics as well. But I am also really excited. We have got our wadding. I brought these to you on Saturday, but they're back. Look at them. They are really, really good. We've got the 80-20 wadding here. This is a queen size quilt. So the imperial measurements, as far as I know, I'm just going to wait for the graphic. I think it's 90 by 108. Otherwise, it's 228 centimeters by 274 centimeters. So it's a full queen size quilt. It is 90 by 100. Now look at Tula. Sorry. 80-20 cotton polyester blend, which is a really fabulous, light, soft, beautiful wadding. And this is available for $44.99. We've not had the queen size wadding on before, and I'm so excited, and you can just see how it comes to you packed. Absolutely beautiful. And I really just want to open it and stroke it, but I'm not going to because it's just such a fabulous product. And I really, really adore this. So this is a really wonderful wadding, this. This is 80-20, but we've also got, because I prefer the 80-20, and you've all heard me talk about my lovely friend Angie. Angie's quilted for 45 years, longer than I've been alive, and she only uses the polyester wadding. She absolutely adores this. She feels that she does that because when she quilts it, she gets a slightly more domed effect on her quilting. It's sort of a trapunto look because the wadding, the polyester gives it that extra loft. And it's also a much lighter quilt, especially if you're making a bigger quilt like a queen size. Any of us who've made queen size quilts before and you put them over your bed and you get under it and you're actually trapped. It's like you're under an iron lung occasionally. I love that. That's why all my quilts are like that. Whereas other people want a much lighter quilt, this is definitely the route to go for you. This is also 228 by 274 centimeters. That's 90 by 108 inches. And this is available to you today for $29.99. But what I love about these is that although it's a queen size, the number of us who don't actually make queen size quilts, I do long arm quilting, and I've got people who go and buy a piece like this, and they're doing quilts that are, say, 60 by 60 or 90 by 60, and then you're actually then able to make a 90 by 50 quilt because you've got leftovers. So it's a really nice project size to have as a quilt piece, as a wadding piece, because you can cut this up into different sizes. If you were doing, say, a 45 by 50 degree, 45 inch by 50 inch quilt, which a lot of us do, those are the lap sizes, you could potentially get 4 quilts out of this one piece of wadding. You just then obviously don't have very much overlap on it, but you can easily do that. You just cut it into 4 and use each of those 4 sections to use for the wadding. So it's a really, really great size and such a good price there. That's $29.99 today. This is the one Angie only ever uses, 100% polyester, because she likes that extra bit of pop when she quilts. Oh, So I'm hearing that everybody is already on the website, all you Tula Pink fans, you're on there already. If you have got anything in your basket, I don't know what the stocks are at the moment, but if you have got something in your basket and you haven't checked out, unfortunately, that item's not yours just yet. You need to pay for it for it to be yours. And if we've only got 3 or 4 of a product, then if it's gone and you haven't checked out, it will be taken out of your basket for the person who's paying ahead of you. We're okay at the moment for the Tula, don't worry, but just make sure that you do check out as you go along, because you're not going to pay any more for it. It's the $3.95 P&P all day, so it doesn't matter if you check out 6 or 7 times, it doesn't matter. You're only getting the one charge. Now, if you haven't heard of Tula, 9 o'clock, if you've never heard of Tula Pink, 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, we'll be able to tell you exactly who she is. She's phenomenal. I adore her. But. Now, the exclusive launch. Now, you can see that I'm gently stroking and touching this book because it is absolutely one of the most beautiful, beautiful books I have ever gone through. It is absolutely stunning. And not only is this exclusive to Sewing Street today, brand new today, you cannot get this book anywhere for a week. We've got the advanced launch of this through the whole of the UK. It is the most stunning, stunning book. And if you don't think the book's stunning enough, you're going to get a lucky dip of 5 skeins to go with it, to get you going on all these gorgeous, gorgeous designs in here. But this is officially associated with the Botanical Gardens in Kew. They are the most stunning, stunning place. If you've never been to Kew, you'll be able to go and see that when they're open again. It's just stunning. Oh, perfect. We have a slide. So just you can then go through and see what that is on the blurred. I'd read it to you, but I have a camera in front of my screen, so I'll be able to read half the words to you and not the other half. So do have a little read of that. That'll tell you a little bit more about the book. But now I cannot express to you how much I adored this book. So unfortunately, if you're not a book fan, you might be converted here because it is absolutely extraordinary. This is the first page. Look at that. That's Trish herself, self-taught embroiderer. I love it when somebody's self-taught because that way I just think that they've got a much easier way of explaining it because they then have done it all themselves. Oh my goodness. They really are beautiful. The detailing of the flowers, you can just, oh, they're absolutely stunning. Oh, sorry, we may spend a bit of time on this, Hannah. I hope you don't mind. Oh, look at that one. Oh my goodness. There's a quote here from Iris Murdoch. People from a planet without flowers would think that we must be mad with joy the whole time to have such things about us. Gosh, that's a beautiful quote. That is gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I can't even begin to pronounce that, so if anybody knows what it is, well done. Papaversumifernum. I've definitely destroyed that. Hang on, who's written the forward here? Oh, Fiona Ainsworth, head of the Library Art and Archives. Oh, wonderful. Well, you know you're doing something right when you've got the head of the archives at Kew doing your forward. Look at the detailing on that. And what I love is that all of this detailing is made from threads like this. It's extraordinary. Now, I have never done embroidery in my life before, but I actually reading through these tips and how to use the threads and everything. Oh, we've got these lovely lights. Ting, 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 ting. There's only one left of them. Go Google lamp. If you want a lamp that's really good. See, now the joy of having talkback is there's always a conversation going on in the head. And they've just said, now, John, you need to start the embroidery demonstration. I'm like, huh? Sorry to say what? They want one of those flowers by the end of the hour. So this is not going to end well if that happens. Oh, but I love this. Even doing the transferring on is explained. And I love that they've got the straight line and the bias telling you how best to put it into your picture, put it into your hoop. Because I've never used a hoop before in my life. But I cannot believe the detailing on this is just from little skeins of threads. Oh, and oh, this tells you how to merge the colours. Oh, this is really well done. Look at that. Gosh, did she make it look so easy? Oh, that Trish is an absolute genius. Never met her. Let's get her on. I want to see her do one of these in a half hour. Goodness me, look at that. And look at the detailing on that. And I love the fact that she's actually labelled the colours that you need here. So that's periwinkle, dark periwinkle, very dark periwinkle, and very dark blue black. Love that. I wonder if that's the name of them on the book. Oh my goodness, look at these detailing. Gosh, this grasshopper. Look at the bee. Sorry, you can tell I get very excited about my books. Oh my goodness, didn't even notice that. Look at this blackberry with the detailing. But I love the way that it's gone picture by picture. You can see where you are. Of course, mine would take about 4 months to get to that point and would sit there until the end of time. Oh my goodness, these are exquisite. And I love the fact that they show you how to do the flower and then how to do the leaves and how to expand on the leaves as you go. Oh my goodness, I'm hearing the quarter of the stock has gone of this book today. This is the UK launch of it, so I'm not surprised. It is absolutely stunning. This is available to us exclusively for a whole week. Oh my goodness, sorry, I love this because it gives you all the DMC colours. Because you see, being a complete novice, I'd want to know exactly what colours I was using. And then they tell you step 3, which colours you're using as well. This is really, really good. And I have to say, I do think as a beginner, I would give this a go. I'd be terrified, but I'd give it a go. But if it doesn't work out, then, you know, you don't have to show anybody. You can just leave it in your cupboard. But this is, oh my gosh, look at these. Look at this flower sampler. That is just oh, that's incredible. That is just insane. I'm looking at this and thinking, how? I tell you, there are some talented people in this world. This is stunning. This is absolutely gorgeous. So Hannah, this book is not going back to the warehouse. I'll give you my credit card details. This is coming home with me. Gosh, this blackberry is beautiful. You kind of just feel like you could eat that, don't you? I'm not going to, don't worry. I love that. Well, that'll be a YouTube video to remember, wouldn't it? Mad Sour decides to eat book on air. Look at that. But I just love the way that the stitching just makes that pop off the page with the way that it's done, with the directions of it. It's absolutely brilliant. Oh, look at this pansy. But it's a great synergy here of the flowers, because if you look at the flower more, last week would have been Chelsea Flower Show, and I'm devastated we didn't have it. But looking at the flowers in detail, when you take those photographs and you look at the colours of it, Q and Trish have worked so beautifully together here to be able to get that incredible fine detailing. Because if you look at that, you can see all the different colours just in that section there. And, oh, I can tell you now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different colours just in that petal. I'm absolutely in awe of this. And you can see why Q worked with her to do this, because it is absolutely stunning. You wouldn't get this quality if you didn't have that type of synergy. This bumblebee is absolutely stunning. But you can just see he looks furry and he feels furry. And the detailing on the wing, oh, it's absolutely stunning. And again, she's listed exactly which threads to use in each section. And what I love about it is that although that is absolutely intimidating beyond words, but when you break it down and you do that, you can see you just start there with the bottom bit and then you work up, or you do a leg and you just go up. I would go in order that it tells you to, though. So there's step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5A, 5B. Gosh, to think 5A and 5B. Gosh. But it is absolutely stunning, this. I wonder if you could expand these to make them larger. I think, well, you see, for me, I always find smaller work is harder than bigger work. So for me, I would be making this about that big, the size of the book, because, but it would probably look awful then. But gosh, look at the little butterfly. Oh, sorry, I get very excited about things like this. The grasshopper is so adorable. And what I love is that detailing there is beautiful. But then when you go around afterwards and you put that darker contrast in, it's gorgeous. Oh, I'm hearing a third of the stock has gone now. I'm not surprised. Oh my goodness, look at the seed heads. Because you don't have to do the whole thing. You could just do a whole load of bumblebees. I know I would. Look at that. Oh, I adore this book. It's a carnation. I don't normally like carnation, but that is stunning. I love clematis. So I've got clematis in my garden, which I actually got from the Chelsea Flower Show. If anybody ever goes to the Chelsea Flower Show, try and go on the Saturday, and it is an absolute bun fight, because at about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, they start selling everything off. And I think I bought 32 clematises, and I put them into my tiny little car, and they were almost hanging out the window, and I destroyed the top of my car with a thing of lilies as well. But I arrived home and my husband was absolutely horrified. And our front garden is only 4 meters by 5. Look at this. Oh my goodness, and then you've got the detailing down there as well. Oh my goodness, we're almost at the halfway mark of the sorry, oh my goodness, sorry. We're almost at the halfway mark of selling out on these. We've got almost half the stock has gone already. But I'm loving the fact that this is now the intermediate. I'm too terrified to look at the advanced. But look at the detailing on that. It's absolutely stunning. Oh my good. I just want this as a coffee table book just to look at. You know those things that you buy and it's kind of aspirational and you think one day I'll get to it. You know you never will, but one day you will. You'll never live long enough. But look at these. Oh, that is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Even the detailing on the leaves. Gosh, this is stunning. I wonder how long it takes her to do each one of these. I wish Trish was here. We could just call her and say, right, tell us everything. If you're watching, hello, Trish. Oh my gosh, this is stunning. In 12 easy steps. That is extraordinary. No, it doesn't say 12 easy steps. I promise. I'm just reading step 12, signature. I'm like, okay. Gosh, my name's too long. It would go all the way up the stem. Gosh, that's... Oh, here we are. We've now hit it. Advanced. Wow. But equally, as you go along, you can see you've only got step 1, 2, and 3. And I know I was joking there about saying 12 steps, but if you look at the stem and you're doing number 1, and then you're breaking down number 2 as a leaf, and number 3 as the sepals. Forgive me, I probably said that wrong. But you can just see when you do break it down, it's actually not as daunting. Wow, look at that. However, I'm looking and seeing that these are all step 14. So I'm thinking that when you're doing step 14, you might want to just have a little cup of tea and a little piece of cake. That magnolia is stunning. These really are beautiful. Look at this. Now, this is completely exclusive to Sewing Street for a whole week. And if it is available anywhere else, it's on pre-order. Ours will be dispatched to you tomorrow. Gosh, look at these, the poppies. This is absolutely stunning. What an absolutely beautiful book. And I know I gush about books, but you can see why. Look at this. Absolutely stunning. Oh, and I love this because I know a lot of people don't use DMC or have got Avas and other products as well. This gives you the colour matching, which is really good. I like that because sometimes you've got all these baskets of other colours and you don't have the colour that you need. You don't have DMC, you've got the other brand. But you can see, and these are all the templates to break it all down and to do your transfers on as well. What an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous book. Almost half the stock on this is gone now. I can totally see why. This is the most incredible, the Q Book of Embroidered Flowers by Trish Burr. Oh, I'm just checking here. Using iron-on transfer. This is transfer paper from slipping in the iron, please note. Oh, the iron-on transfers are only available with a folder edition of this title. And if I'm not mistaken... Oh, well, I'm taking the sticker off, so the book is sold. It's mine. Mine forever. Oh, goodness. So you've got the iron-on transfers here. And these can be used many, many times as well. Gosh, what an added little find. Well done with spotting that. And then once you've used the iron-on transfers, you can obviously still use the transfers from there. Is it up to 5? So you can actually use the iron-on transfers up to 5 times normally. So you should be able to use those several times. It's the general rule on those as well. But make sure you look after them as well. But this book, I'm sure you can agree, is one of the most beautiful things. Absolutely stunning. Really great value there. And look at the hours of entertainment that you'd have with this. It's such a beautiful, beautiful book. And I certainly want to give it a go. And I've never embroidered anything in my whole life. This is available completely exclusively to us for a full week before general release. So if you do get this, it'll be in the post to you today. If it's in your basket already, remember you do need to check out. We don't want you to lose out on anything in that way. Then if you check out, it's yours immediately. So very briefly, I'm not going to do this very much because we've got this fabulous lamp here. We launched it yesterday. Now I'm hoping I'm not going to cause blindness on anybody. What you've got here, if I can get, there we go. It's LED, and you can see as I press this, it's increasing in brightness. But what I love about it, not only is it that, but you've also got, now I'm pretty sure this magnifying thing's not going to work from so far away, but you've got this incredible magnifying glass, but you've also got the lights that are increasing and decreasing as you want them to, and you can change the color of them as well. So if I do that, you can see that in the magnifying glass. And you can see you've got all these different ways of changing the colour. So if you want a bit more of a warm look, or if you want it a bit brighter, that's the brightest it goes. But I think that then takes off the warmness. If you want that cool white light, that's what I've got in my studio all the way through. It's brilliant. This is completely rechargeable. So you can plug it in, charge it up, and then pick this up and drag it away with you wherever you want it. It's your favourite coffee table chair or whatever. This is available as a floor lamp as well. So in the box comes all the accessories to make it into a floor lamp too. You've got loads of different bits and bobs in here as well. I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to get this back in stock as well. But we only have one left of them. What I love as well, we've got the clip too. So you can attach this to the side of any table. And you can attach, you see that little round bit there? This bit here unattaches and goes into that little round bit there. Or as a frame even as well, because I know a lot of you have got the floor hoop frames. You can then attach that to the floor hoop frame as well. And these are completely rechargeable, so you can take it wherever you need to go once you've recharged it. And there's only one left at the minute. And obviously with everything that's going on in the world right now, we will do our best to get them back in. We're just not quite sure when that'll happen. And it's a good weight on this as well. It's a really lovely, lovely... Sorry. We knew that was going to happen with so much wonderful stock on there. Everybody watched it, even I did, and I was like, I can't even reach out for it. And I won't deny, I'm looking at this, my lovely husband has had to start wearing glasses recently, so his arms aren't quite long enough for most things. So I am wondering whether one of these would help. No, not one for each eye. That's very funny. Besides, I can't, there's only one left. But anyway... But I do love this, and it's lovely to have the additional thing, especially when you're doing such close embroidery work. Having that wonderful magnifying glass is a really, really nice thing. But don't forget, there's only one of them, so if you are interested, you need to check out on it as soon as, just in case somebody else gets it for you. Because also for the day, what I love about this is you've also got because you saw that I had the warm, which was that sort of beigey, creamy coloured light, as well as the blue lights. You'd want the blue lights on in order to colour match everything and to make sure you're using the right colours on everything. So that's the great thing about having the cool light and the warm. But we've also got our fabulous little LED light here. Now this is a natural daylight effect. Really, really great for colour matching as well. And it's a really bright little light as well. This has been lighting our wonderful early bird all day this morning. And it's a really nice size lamp, and it does extend a little bit as well, and you can move it around. Great to have at the back of your sewing machine to be able to see where you're going. But it is a really nice little light there available as well. This one does plug in. LED, so it doesn't get hot. This has been on all the time my show's on. You can see it's not hot at all. It'd be very funny if my skin burnt off at that point, but it didn't because it's LED. And it's a really nice little designed light as well. It's got this lovely grey, goes into every home very comfortably, as does white. It's very stylish, and you can even put it, and it's not very heavy as well. It's really light, so if you did want to put it on a tray if you were working on your lap, it's not going to cause discomfort in any way. It's a really nice way of doing it. But even as a bedside light, this would be really good. Because reading, most of us do a little bit of reading when we go into bed before we fall asleep, and this is a nice thing to have as a daylight lamp as well next to your bed if you're reading. And it's really easy to turn on and off. You've just got this wonderful little button over here. I love a button. Button, button, button. Right, I'll stop now. Oh! Whoever the lucky person was who got the larger lamp, congratulations. So sadly, my husband will continue to be blind and not able to see anything. So there we go. Hello, darling. Shall we do our Oracle? So I don't know if anybody saw on Saturday, we launched Oracle, and we've now got this back today to show you again. These are the essential collections. There are 10 of the most gorgeous colours. Really, really beautiful, beautiful thread. If you haven't used Oracle before, you will know that, well, Oracle these are 100% cotton. You're getting 200 metres per spool. You're getting all of these colours, all individual. There are 10 of them in total. But what is so great about Oracle thread is that, I've got that in the wrong place. Dum, dum, dum. There we go. This is what happens when they cover my TV up with a camera. So you go there. And the great thing about this thread is it's 100% cotton, so it doesn't give any lint whatsoever to when you're actually working, because you do know that sometimes when you're using a slightly less expensive thread, that lint comes out everywhere, and you've got it in your machine. You're needing to clean your machine out a lot more often. And Sewing Street and Oracle have worked together to be able to bring you this exclusive collection here today. Really beautiful, beautiful colours. And I'm just going to do one very quick thing, because you know we've got Tula Pink coming up. Look at how beautifully this matches up with all of these threads here. I can hear the pitter-patter of Joe's feet. Now don't get too close on this to see my points that I've missed. But this is the first time you're seeing the new Tula collection close up as well. But look how perfectly that pink goes. And that navy goes beautifully with those hands, and it's absolutely stunning. So if you are already checking out, don't worry about it. You've got this as well available for you to have a look at. And then if you look at the colours over here as well, you can see that the teal and the green and the blue, these go beautifully with the Tula. And obviously your points would be a lot better than mine. Really love that. Oh, now I've got these completely out of order again. I did this on Saturday too. So at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be able to show you the jelly roll for the Tula Pink collection. And then at 10 o'clock, we've got all the other combinations. The layer cake, the charm pack, and the hexagons. I've not seen hexagons in this country before. I'm very excited about that. I'm very, very excited about Tula, as you can tell. So that is our Oracle collection. I'm going to leave these out, actually, because they're so beautiful. I'm going to just put them here, and of course, no doubt they're going to fall over. Just look how beautiful. See, I told you there were lots of lovely products on the show today. They really are. Right, next, in line with these wonderful embroideries that we've got here, we also have a huge collection of embroidery skeins for you. So these aren't DMC or anything, these are trimmets. But you can see the colours that you're getting with it as well. Brights. This is the Brights collection. You're getting 36 of these Bright skeins. Now the great thing with this is so you're getting 36 skeins, they're $9.99, so it's a really lovely way of being able to start the product, to be able to start embroidery, trying it and seeing just whether you like it or not. It's a wonderful colour combination there. You can see there are half of the colours there, and if I rotate the pack round you can see the other half. So you've got an absolutely beautiful mix of colours there to be able to try it and see whether it's for you, and it's such a great price point. You can easily be able to do that. That's 27p a skein. So that's a really good price point for you to have a go and see if it's for you. It's just a nice way of being able to start. So we've got that as our Brights collection here. And then we've got our pastel collection as well. And I'm not quite sure which I prefer. Each skein of these, both in the Brights collection I've just shown you and the pastel, have 8 meters per skein. Now that's quite a lot of thread in that. Do we know if that 8 meters is all of the strands together? So, oh my, so each strand is 8 meters, so you're getting 288 meters in total. Isn't that such a huge amount of huge amount of thread there? So that's the one side of the collection. And if you look at that, can you just see how beautiful those are? Absolutely gorgeous. A nice subtle collection there of colours. Really, really lovely. And again, a really great price point, $9.99 for the bag. And it's a nice way to give it a go and try it out. So those are our first two, but I'm really excited as well. We've got a mixed one as well. What are we calling this? Variegated. These are really, really lovely. I remember I started doing some tying, quilt tying, and I'm sorry, I'm turning that round. I used that one. Not of this brand, because I paid £1.50 a skein for my collection that I bought, and I bought 4 of them, so I'm looking at this and thinking, gosh, okay, I feel like I was a little ripped off now. But you can, what is great with these as well, all of these threads, you can actually tie your quilts with these. You don't actually have to send it to your long armour then, and this is a really great way of doing it as well. I used all 8 strands of the full skein and just tied that into a French knot, and it worked beautifully. The quilt was absolutely gorgeous, and it gives that really nice lofty feel to it as well by being able to tie it. So if you haven't ever tied a quilt before, this is also a nice way of being able to do that. And with all these different colourways, the 3 different colourways, you may want to get the variegated because that normally ties in beautifully with any of the quilts that you've done. Otherwise the pastels and the bright, you know what your colour collections are. Some of us are bright, some of us are pastels. Nothing wrong with either. You've got both available for you there. Because I certainly would be tying Tula's quilt with the bright, obviously. And if you... I didn't know about that. Now, I haven't seen this. I've ordered mine. I haven't ordered mine, but I've done it quietly so that I can just leave it when Debbie's next in and say, Debbie, I love you. Please, can you autograph it personally to me? So I've got that coming in. But I have bought it already, and this book is absolutely stunning. But she's got a section in here about quilt tying. We're going to flick through her book because Debbie mentions... Sorry, I'm flicking for one reason, because I'm looking for something in particular. Caring for your quilt, applique, reverse applique. Gosh, she gives you so much information. Unfortunately, now, of course, I haven't had the quilt book yet. I haven't been able to work out what page everything's on. So I'm going to look in the back. Maybe she's got an index tying. Quilt knots, 74, 75, 77. If anybody is actually looking at their book at the moment and you know which page I'm looking for, do message us. We'd love to hear from you. Ah, tying a quilter's knot. There we go. That's not the one I'm looking for. It was 84. There it is. Oh no, it's not. That's basting. Oh, even basting. If you're wanting to do big stitch basting, this would work very well with that as well. Using the variegated, that would look lovely on those. And you can see that quilt there is a pinky one. That would look lovely. It is here. You know when you're looking for something. Everybody's all probably screaming at the telly saying, it's this page, John, it's that page. So forgive me, I can't find what I'm looking for on this. It's the, Debbie does do the tying of quilts in this book. We just can't find it at the moment, so sorry about that. It's definitely in here. So if you haven't seen Debbie's new book, I know I've got mine arriving, I think it's tomorrow. I got the email saying your order is on its way. So I love that, getting that little email from Jewellery Maker saying it's on the way, enjoy. So there we go, you can have a little look through Debbie's book as well. She's got that in there. Sorry about that, we've got it in there somewhere, but you know what it's like. I don't want to spend any more time. It's very boring for you to sit and watch me going through a book on that. So now, if you are going to start this process, let me show you what we have here. Now, first of all, let me show you the outside. So you get this wonderful thread box organizer, and it's great because you've already got 100 paper bobbins on the inside. Now and I'm going to open this now for you to show you what you're getting. You've got these wonderful little sections to be able to store things, but then you're also getting, of course I'm doing this backwards, upside down, you're getting 100 of these, and of course I'm going to drop these all over the floor, get them all wrong. So you're getting 100 of these. Now what these are for is you're able to take, now I'm jumping ahead because this little tool, brand new today as well, this is called a bobbin winder. This will show you how you're doing it. So you can attach your little bobbin winder there. It's got a little slot in there for you to be able to attach to the edge of a surface, which you can pop onto the edge here. You can see you've got that little slot in there. Oops, that little slot there. That you can put onto the edge of your box here. And then once you put that on there, you can actually go and you can attach. You can see you've got that hole there on your bobbin. You've got that little hole there. So you pop that through your thread winder, put that in there. You take your thread and you wind that through the little hole bit over here, and then you just start winding it on, and it winds your bobbin by turning this round consistently for your thread to go onto your bobbin. So you get this wonderful bobbin winder for $2.99. Such a great price. Really, really fabulous product. I think anything that's going to save me time and my fingers, definitely take my money. You've got it. It's wonderful. And the great thing with this is you can then coordinate all of your colours. So if you wanted to put all of your browns in one section, all of your blacks, because I know there are different colours of browns and blacks all the way through all the different products that you get. But equally, you can have this as your DMC, this is the alternate, and because these are paper, you can actually write on the edge there of each one that you're getting. But equally, one of the top tips I ever heard is before you wind the bobbin, take this off and you put it into the one end. So you have your number coming on the one end, and if you've got DMC, obviously when you're doing, and you can put that next to each other, and then wind it, you can then put those on and you'll always know which, whether it's DMC and you've got the colour. So when you've run out, you'll be able to have all the details already behind that. So it's a really nice extra, that was just a little tip that I heard from somebody many years ago when I started all of this, that was one of their top tips on it. But these bobbin cases I think are fabulous. And it just, you can see when you're storing, because this comes with 10 skeins as well. So not only are you getting all those bobbins and you're getting this fabulous box, you're also getting a lucky dip of 10 different skeins. Now these will all be totally different colours. They are DMC, they're all DMC, so you will be able to get 10 of these free with your order. And I know DMC was what I bought when I tied my quilt, and I paid £1.50 per skein. So I'm not going to hold a grudge against that at all. No, not at all. But it does then mean that you're getting a huge amount of value as well, just with these gorgeous DMC skeins included. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. You will get 10. I don't know what's happened with that other one. It happens. You put it in, all of a sudden, Joe probably ate it. You know, it's just one of those things. So Oh, is that what it is? We don't pay Joe, apparently. All we do is we just give him bits of thread every now and then, and he's over the moon just to be able to do it. Hello, Hayley. So there we go. You're getting this wonderful box, those 10 free skeins with the project box as well, and you got those bobbins. Just actually, I'm looking in the picture, you've actually got that as an example of how this works. So don't forget, we've also got this available as well at $2.99. So this is not include. You get the box alone. You don't get this. This comes separately. That's then available then for $2.99. But what a great price to be able to buy those together. That would be really, really good. And we've also got. We're doing the needles. Now, obviously, with all this process, you're going to need some needles. Here are a wonderful pack here of embroidery, and is it crewel work? I'm not even going to imagine what crewel work is, and I'm so sorry. There's a massive. Sorry. Hannah just said, I think it's less sinister than you imagine. I was like, I didn't think it was sinister, but now I do. Oh, crewel, that's what it is with crewel. So there we go. You're getting this wonderful set of needles. Are there 10 of these? There are 16. Wonderful, and they're ranging from size 5 to size 10. And these are only available today for $1.99. Such a great price on those, really good. So giving you all the things you could possibly need to start your journey. But if that's not enough, we also have this fabulous table clamp. Can I open? I'm opening. Ooh. Ooh. And you get instructions, which is very handy for people like me. Nice set of instructions of how to use it, how to put it all together. So if you are working on... Oh, if you've got different angles, can I put this on here? Will it fit? But now the great thing is, oh my goodness, I love this. Ooh, you can rotate that 360 degrees to wherever you want it to go. And then you can do all your work standing up. You can do it sitting down. You can do it however you like. If you get one of your gorgeous lamps, the lamp works perfectly there. If you've got one of our gorgeous boxes full of your skeins and you're now looking at our beautiful book that we've just brought you, you open this up, take it out, start stabbing all your work. I think the best embroidery I've ever seen is, if you think that I can't hate you, I've stabbed this 1,000 times just to tell you that I can. I thought that was just a quote that I thought was really silly but quite fun. Oh, and this goes up in height as well. Oh, there we go. Nothing like breaking something on national television, is it? Oh, this is lovely. What a gorgeous little stand. And it's really solid, this. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. And it's really great because whether you're doing this on a table, you can then lower it down as well. I think that's as low as it goes. So you can see you've still got a few inches there. I can tell you exactly how many. So if I get the ruler the right way around, that would help. It's about 4.5, 5 inches then to that area there. About 4.5, 5 inches there, you can go to the lowest. But it's just such a lovely little thing, this. It's really handy. And also it saves holding it. And if you've then got your bias, as the instructions we had in that gorgeous book we had from Trish Burr, once you've got your bias put in place as well, you then just rotate your hoop as to where you want to go and what's comfortable for you for sewing. These clamps are really good for that. So it's a lovely, lovely stand there. That's available for $19.99 today. The embroidery hoop is a 10-inch stand. And you can see, really easy to attach and detach. And when you're finished, you can pop this onto there. I'm going to leave that for Joe. Joe can have some thread for that in there. There's an extra thread for you in the box over there. There we go. Now it looks like an aerial on the side of the house, doesn't it? Now, if you don't need a hoop with a stand, gosh, it's gone all light dark now when I turn that off. If you don't need a hand with if you don't need a hoop with a stand, not a hand with a stoot, you've got these wonderful hoops as well. I'll start with the smallest one. This is 14.5 centimetres or 5.8 inches. Really, really lovely. This is available for $3.99. And you can see you then unscrew it as you normally would. This pops out nice and comfortably. You can put your work in there, put it back in, and then go from there. So that's the 5.8 inch, 14.5 centimetre. Then we're going up a size. This is 20 centimetres or 8 inches. And poor Joe's having to run in and out because the shot gets bigger and bigger. The next one's bigger as well, Joe. I love it. So this one's available today for $5.49. And again, exactly the same thing. You're undoing your little clamp there and you pull this out and put your work in. They've really got a lovely feel to them as well. Can you paint these, I wonder? I don't know if you'd want to. Oh, that is a really good idea. So Tula Pink, it's her, I love her. She takes bits of her work and fussy cuts bit out and puts these into hoops, and she then actually hangs them on a wall. And when I show you the layer cakes later, I'll show you. And then that is the 20 centimetre one we did earlier, or the 8 inch. This one is 24 centimetres or 9.6 inches. So we're going up in size as we go. Exactly the same thing. You've got the internal loop and the external loop, which you would then put your work in between. And you've got the wonderful little rotating screw there that you can tighten your work as you go. And these obviously don't have a stand or anything, so these you would just rest in your lap and maneuver as you needed to. Really, really lovely those, and it's nice to be able to have everything you need to start your little embroidery journey. Now the reason we're starting our embroidery journey today is because we have this exclusive, for a whole week, this exclusive book available to us by Trish Burr, working in conjunction with Kew Gardens. You're going to get not only this wonderful book, but you're also going to get 5 DMC skeins as well. It's a lucky dip. You don't know what colours you're getting until they arrive on the day. But I'm so, so privileged to be able to have the UK launch of this today. I know Sewing Street is as well, but I know that I am so personally privileged because it's such a beautiful book. I'm just reading the back here, and it says, "The sumptuous and inspiring book written by needlework expert Trish Burr and created in association with the Royal Botanical Gardens Kew is a stunning contemporary guide to embroidering flowers." That is, in a nutshell and one sentence, exactly what this book is, because it is absolutely sumptuous on every single level. Every single flower in here has just got me wanting to be able to do embroidery. Just look at the detailing on it. And it's broken down by step. Oh, were you saying more than half of the stock has gone now? Not surprised, because you're going up on all these different levels of expertise as you go. So obviously this one's a lot easier than the ones that towards the end. We just love this little blackberry, don't we? Absolutely stunning. Really good. Oh my goodness, and it's also telling you how to pad it and what your satin stitching should be, adding stitches as well, and it tells you what colour you need to be doing it as well. And don't forget then, because obviously at the back of the book you've got the templates of exactly what it is that you're going to draw onto it. You've also got a pack of iron-on transfers that are reusable up to about 5 times each. These you can then take, you can sketch out your designs on there and then iron that transfer onto your work that as you're going, or what you're going to work it onto. And it just comes with this book as well, exclusive today to Sewing Street for a whole week. So now I'm so excited to hear that the Tula Pink is selling really, really, really well at the moment. So I have used 2 jelly rolls to do this design today from another book, which I'm really excited to show you later. But we're going to have a look through that at the 9 o'clock show. Do you want me to open the design roll now? Oh, okay. I'm just teasing me. I can't do it yet. But I can show you this. I'm not allowed to open it yet. It's like Christmas morning. You're not allowed to open it yet. So this is the Homemade collection by Tula Pink. And you can just see all these gorgeous colours and her traditional dots. If anybody hasn't heard of Tula, you can have a little look for her as and when. But you've got the break time to do that. Just Google Tula Pink and just look at her incredible, incredible work. Absolutely gorgeous. And if I move that little label, you'll see That's her Bernina sewing machine, the one she designed for Bernina. Really stunning, stunning products, these. And then at 10 o'clock, we've got some other pre-cuts from Tula Pink as well. And we've got the fabulous book from Carolyn Foster, which I'm really looking... Foster? Sorry if I got your pronunciation wrong. Really sorry about that. Carolyn, we're looking forward to showing you that book as well. What a fabulous hour. I'm really, really excited to show you all of this. So we'll be back in a few seconds. We've got a minute or two. Might need 3 actually, because I need a cup of tea. But also because there's quite a lot, we need to just go and move this safely over somewhere else and redo the set. So we'll be with you in a minute or two. Hello and welcome. We love hearing from you, and we really hope that you can follow us on our social media platforms. We've got Instagram, which is @Sewing Street. We have Facebook. We've got 2 Facebook pages. One is the Sewing Street TV page, and the other one is Sewing Street Fans. All 3 of these are monitored all the time by our wonderful team, and if you want to message us on air, drop us a line on either of those 3 and we'll definitely be able to answer your questions that you may have. If you post on the actual wall, we can perhaps answer there. Otherwise, message us as well. That works really, really well. Thank you so much for being involved, and it's only because of this community that we're able to bring you all these different diverse products and to be able to answer your questions that you may have. Another way you can stay in touch with us is by signing up to our newsletter. These newsletters are sent out to you very regularly, and they include not only our guest profiles of upcoming guests, but also amazing shows that we've got coming up for you. And if you want to look at the amazing products before everybody else, that's the best way to do it. If you'd like to sign up and you haven't already, the link to follow is www.sewingstreet.com/sign up. You won't regret it. Thank you.
Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer, and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying 1 postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping.
If you love sewing, then you need the UK's favourite sewing magazine. Every month, you'll receive exclusive patterns. Follow simple step-by-step guides suitable for all skill levels to make your own stunning clothes, accessories and more, together with inspiring tips and tricks from industry experts. Join in and discover your love for sewing. Try Love Sewing today and get your first 3 issues for just £6.
Hi, I'm Debbie Shaw from Sewing Street, and these are my 5 top tips for successful sewing. So, number 1, always use a good quality thread. A good quality thread will keep your seams stronger and also help to prevent lint building up inside your sewing machine. Tip number 2, if your project isn't going quite according to plan, put it down, walk away from it, come back again the next day and you'll probably find that things don't seem half as bad as they did. My tip number 3, never throw away your sewing machine manual, always keep it to hand because you're going to find hints and tips, techniques and troubleshooting in that manual. You'll miss it if you lose it. My tip number 4 is to read your pattern instructions before you even cut out your fabric. Different manufacturers of patterns will give you different instructions, different ways of constructing your garments and different seam allowances. So to have a successful garment, you need to follow the instructions precisely. And then tip number 5 is don't give up. Every professional sewer sewed their first seam. Every professional quilter quilted their first quilt. Every professional quilter sewed their first line of wonky stitches and had to get out the quick and pick. That's no different to you. So I hope you find these useful. If you want more hints and tips, then why not go to Sewing Street on channel 74 on Freeview, on Sky 670, and of course we have a YouTube channel where you can catch up on previous demonstrations. We'll see you soon.
Good morning and welcome back. You know when I do this, I'm beyond excited because I have got my favourite. I've got Tula Pink. So I have made this quilt today, yesterday. Oh, and I love it. I cannot tell you the joy that it brought me to make this. Absolutely adore it. I have been a fan of Tula Pink for many years, like many people have. Really incredible designer. She's got the most fantastic ideas in the way she looks at things. And I was very, very lucky to be able to meet her in Dorking a couple of years ago when she came to the UK. I might pop a photo up what I took with her. I can open this now, can't I? Sorry, it's like Christmas. I can open it up. So these are the very first time we have had pre-cuts from Tula Pink, and I am beyond excited because not only do I get to open a jelly roll on air, I love it, but also I get to show you, who, in case you haven't seen Tula Pink before, I get to show you the absolute gorgeousness that is Tula. And I'm going to show this to you this way here. Oh, I love it. And as I said at the end of the last hour, this little Bernina sewing machine is the actual sewing machine that Tula has designed for Bernina. She is a Bernina brand ambassador, and she creates a sewing machine every 2 or 3 years for them. And it's exactly what she wants as a quilter, as a fabric designer. It's exactly what she's looking for in a sewing machine, and it just works absolutely brilliantly. And she's always got those typically Tula-esque dots on it as well. Love that. And then you're getting 1 or 2. And those are all tape measures, obviously, in case you hadn't noticed that. Now, this collection is called Homemade, and what she's done is she's highlighted all of the products that she makes. So you'll see she does scissors, she does these wonderful rotary cutters, she does these tight little scissors as well, pins and everything as well. And her brand is all of these wonderful, wonderful products in these incredible colours as well. Now this one, I'm going to put this to one side because this works really well when I show it to you as a full design. But look at these paper clips. So these are the strips folding in half as well. So don't forget you've got 2 pieces of that. So you can see you've got 2 of those. Now what I meant to show you about this design here is that obviously she does all of these in different colorways, and you can see how this extends down. You can see that goes there, but what I love is this little section over here, which I'm hoping to get a piece, and I'll show you, because it's got they look like eyes, but look at the beautiful detailing on these. It's absolutely stunning. And all of her design work is done by hand. She draws them out by hand, which is a bit of a forgotten art these days, I think, but they're just beautiful. And look at that graph paper. And inside the middle of each of these graph papers, you've got a heart, a safety pin, a button, the sewing machine. Not sure what that one is. Knitting needles. Knitting needles, I think. And then these, don't they just look like the top of a donut? Absolutely adore that. Now remember the Bernina sewing machine we had earlier? This is the foot of it in a different colorway. So you can see her thoughtful design is just incredible. And these have got the safety pins on again. And the hands using all the work as you go as well. These are the little tweezers that she uses, and you've got the beautiful needles and things as well. Absolutely stunning. Now, you remember I said to you I was looking for one which had the eyes. So you can see that is the, I'm moving this up now so you can all see. That is her design, and you can see she's got these beautiful eyes. All the hidden elements of it. So this is with a jelly roll, you're not quite getting the full repeat on it. But what I love is on one of them, you're going to get that gorgeous set of eyes. And then the next one, you're going to get the sharp pointy bits there because you've got that beautiful heart combination in the middle there. And then you're going to get this in the middle, which has got that gorgeous cotton roll. Oh, there we go. tell you that Joe's excellent. He just follows it wherever he goes. That's why we give him so much thread. And then there we got that in another colourway there with that gorgeous tape measure. And these are almost like fleur-de-lis in the background as well. But it's also that synergy she creates by doing something really contemporary with the tape measures, but using what's considered to be quite traditional with those fleur-de-lis and the twirls of the paisleys and things. Absolutely genius. And here again, you've got all the tools that she makes. And isn't it interesting how it changes each colourway that she uses, how different they all look? And your eye's drawn to different parts. And what I love about her fabric is every time you look at the fabric, you get a totally different take as to what you're looking at. So this looks more like a tropical scene, doesn't it, rather than a sewing machine? And that's what it is. That's her designed sewing machine as well. And the hands again are back here. You're getting 2 of these in the blue. And then you're getting two in the blue of this one as well with the different safety pins. They're really beautiful. You're getting 40 strips in here a total. Never had Tula pre-cuts before, never had this collection before either. And we've got different types of pre-cuts as well at 10 o'clock, so stay tuned. Or check out the website for them. They've been selling really well this morning as well. And then you've got the dark blue colour, I'm going to call them the confetti donut ones, because you can imagine the top of a donut being with these wonderful confetti things. And I love the way that the colours, it sort of ombres through with all the colours as you sprinkle through the whole collection. You're getting 2 of those as well. But look at this! You've got that gorgeous grid with all these beautiful buttons and... oh, these are needles. That's what they are, not knitting needles. Scissors, needles and safety pins. It's just beautiful. And again, now we've got the hands. Now I have to say, I think that every single element here has been really thought out very carefully, because look, you've got that heart there that slots into that hand, and that heart there which is the same size being held. It's just that beautiful community feel to it, that somebody's given their heart to you as well. But there you go, those are the 40 pieces that you're getting. But tell me, how can you not be excited about this fabulous product? So one of these, I'll show you what one length looks like, and I'm going to be cheeky and I'm going to use the Panini sewing machine because look how gorgeous it is. So that is what one full length looks like, and you're going to get that of 40 times of all the different collections there. And what I love about the pre-cuts is you're getting a piece of every single one of this collection, some cases 2 pieces, and it's just that wonderful way of being able to get just that wonderful collection in one go, in one place. Because some of us can't get the whole ½ metre fat quarter bundle collection of everything, so we buy jelly rolls. So I'll give you a quick look at the other. I'm going to just fold this back, because once you've undone a jelly roll, I'm never quite sure how you get it back together again. So I'm going to leave that there. There we go. So now I'm going to also just give you a quick sneak peek of this. So we've got the wonderful hexagons in the next hour. Now I've not seen hexagons in this country before. We've got those wonderful hexagons there. We've got our layer cakes here, which are our 10-inch charm packs, which is the big one over here, which seems to be having a bit of a moment there. It's getting a bit tired. You know what I'm going to do? Forgive me. I'm probably going to break this now, aren't I? Oh, Debbie, sorry. I'm just stretching it back. So there we go. Sorry, Debbie. Hello. I'm just destroying your product there. It's just that my jelly roll was... There we go. Look how much better that lies. But you've also got the wonderful charm packs as well. So if you know the homemade range and you know Tula, she's here and she ain't going anywhere. Can't wait. So what I've done with this, and I will be perfectly honest with you, I'll tell you exactly what happened. I started doing the center section here, misread the pattern, sewed it incorrectly, and then thought I cannot be bothered to unpick this. That will be another project, and then opened another jelly roll and just used 2 jelly rolls. But I need to show you, look how well it worked, because if you follow this pink line, it goes all the way through to the bottom. And if you follow this line here, it goes all the way through. So, and going across as well, you can see I've got this green line going all the way through. Now, if you want to do it in exactly the same way, I'll show you how I did that. The pattern is still exactly the same. You don't have to do it that way. You can do it however you choose. All I did was I chose, you can see that I've got the lines going that way and that way as well, which was, I want to say, a stroke of genius, but actually it was pure luck. But then I'll show you how I end up getting that. And it's a nice addition to be able to do it, because if you've got 2 jelly rolls, you can then make 2 of these quilts doing the exact same star, but in different colorways. One will be more than enough. You only need 40 jelly roll strips in this. I have made one adjustment to the patterns simply because I wanted to make sure that I had enough for the border to finish here, and I'll show you in the pattern what's changed. But that's what's great, is you can change the patterns that you get in books everywhere you like. But I'm very, very excited to say that we have got, for the first time on the show, we've got The Joy of Jelly Rolls by Carolyn Foster. And I'm hoping it's Foster, and if I've got that wrong, I'm so sorry, but I can't decide whether it's Forster or Foster, but hopefully it's Foster. Or Forrester. Sorry. But I have met Carolyn, I've done one of her classes before, and she is so, so lovely, and she's an excellent teacher on it. And I've probably said your name wrong, Carolyn, so I'm mortified and I'm very, very sorry. But this book is exceptional. Now, the first thing I want to show you is you are going to be blown away with the different levels of projects. And the great thing is you can do this as a complete beginner. You do not need to have any training first. Carolyn has written these so beautifully. Look at that! They are just gorgeous, and she's written so many books before. I do think this is one of her best books. It's absolutely beautiful. I tell you, I was so, so tempted to do this, but I decided that I needed to sleep before I came on the show, because that is just the most beautiful, beautiful log cabin there. Absolutely gorgeous. And that one, we'll get to that in a minute. I'll show you exactly that pattern, because it is absolutely stunning. So here we've got this wonderful set of instructions here. You've got first of all, it tells you what a jelly roll is. And I'll just plop this on here. Look at that. I love it. There's the Tula Pink jelly roll there. So it tells you exactly what a jelly roll is. It tells you how much fabric it is and what you're looking for when you get one. You've got all your fabrics and threads, and you've got all the different brands of jelly roll that you can get as well. They don't have the free spirits in there as well. But what I love is, like, I have about 7 of these different machines. These are the featherweight singers, and they are absolutely beautiful to sew on. And you'll see that Carolyn, throughout her little journey in this book, she has used the featherweight. And what I love is she actually shows you how to cut all of these out. And it's really great, and it tells you as well that you can layer up, but make sure you've got a really sharp blade as well. So she's also looked at everything that you could possibly need, and she's looking and being able to show you exactly how to mark templates out. If you're using rulers, how to use the rulers, make sure you snip off the edges. So she has gone into so many details, and she's written so many beautiful books. The great thing is she's so talented and so well versed in all things quilting that she is definitely a great one to be able to learn from as well. And it shows you as well, when you're sewing the 3 strips together, how to cut them into 2.5-inch pieces to be able to make these blocks as you need to as well. So she gives you loads of different tips, even shows you how to do the applique as well, and then adding borders to the applique, going down to wadding. So every single thing that you could possibly want to know about quilting is in the beginning section of this book. And I'm not going to go through every single section because there's just so much to learn. And even turning through, if you're going to be doing the turning through method as well, she covers that as well. Displaying your quilts, how to make quilt borders, and be able to put hanging your quilt, the best way of doing that. Very, very thoughtful. And the first section in this book is about little jelly roll gifts. So you're not making massive quilt projects, you're going to be able to do these fabulous little dogs as well. The little patchwork dog shows you how to make that, shows you exactly what you'll need to do that. And then you've got the dolly, really, really sweet little dolly. And you've got the covered folder as well, which I think is really lovely and very thoughtful, that you'll be able to make a project there that you can carry with you everywhere you go. I've actually got something similar where I put all my little designs in. I've got something like that I put them in, write it down, and then put it in. Oh, this is really cute as well, a bookmark and cover book for a bookmark and book cover. Sorry, I'll learn to read one day. Today is not that day. Lovely drawstring bag, and then that is that Manx Log Cabin mat, which is just beautiful, and it goes into all the details there of how to do it and what you need to do. You've got loads of bunting. You've got the hexagon pillow as well. And what I love about this is we've cut the hexagons in half, which makes it a lot easier to be able to sew them all together. So you haven't got those dreaded Y seams in there either. And it got these coasters as well. You've got all these wonderful little projects you can do and how you can do them. And she even goes to the point of actually showing you how to quilt them as well. Just such a beautiful, beautifully thought out book. Really, really good. And here as well, it shows you how to quilt all these, what are we making here? A tea and coffee cozy, being able to show you how to quilt those as well, which I think is really great. Even down to a little hair scrunchie. So it's loads of different projects in here as well. And then you've got a needle book. There are loads in here. It's a really, really, really detailed book as well. And again, as she's sewing along, you can see she's got her beautiful Singer featherweight machine in here. But of course, not to be one of those doing a small, oh, that's beautiful as well. Hadn't seen that one, the crochet hook roll. I decided, or it was decided, that I was going to make the biggest in the book, the largest in the book. So I made the Ohio Star. Now the one thing, as a long arm quilter, my blood curdled when I saw this. No judgment, Carolyn, it's a beautiful design, but as a long arm quilter, you, as you rightly have said, that you can do this in a different method. You just do the border of a quilt that's later on in the book, which is here. And the reason being is that when you do make a quilt, if you're going to be quilting it on a long arm machine, you need to have those corners on, which is what I've done. And all I did then was, it tells you a size to do the border on. I just did a slightly smaller size. Now, I will say that some of the bits are a little bit complex if you're going to do this quilt. So if you are going to be making this quilt, make sure that you flick back to YouTube and you'll be able to make this quilt with a few little things. Because I've had a couple of little things that I've not adjusted, but I've found that work a little bit easier for my brain, and it may work better for your brain as well. So I'm now going to get ready and show you how you're going to make that. And I'm going to keep this nice and close so I can refer back to it. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press my bits that I've already made. And the reason for that is, and I got very carried away, I ended up sewing another 4 strips together just for good measure. But oh well, no, I've got another project for that, don't worry. What the great thing is when you make a mistake, it's a new pattern. So you then you phone Hayley at about 11 o'clock at night going, hiya, it's me, I've got a new design. And she's like, yeah, whatever, good night. Talk to me in the morning. Now, what I love about Carolyn's book as well is it tells you exactly which direction to press everything. And of course, I've read it yesterday and completely forgot this. Press the seams in one direction. So what I love about this is I haven't pressed anything beforehand. So all I'm doing, so I've got the iron on here. Joe very kindly set that on for me, and hopefully he will remind me that it is on, that I need to turn it off when I'm finished sewing. So what's really great about this is you're pressing everything in one direction. Oh, I've got to love that little bit of steam on there. Andrew, stop watching, darling. I don't know how to do this. It's a complete delusion. This is only pressing, isn't it? Did I tell you that I came home the other day and there were a whole load of shirts on our ironing board with my prim iron going, saying, go on, press those. I was like, you cheeky, lovely man. So there we go. And all you're doing is you're just pressing this to one side. I'm not stretching it, I'm just holding this taut so that when you press them, it's all going to be as taut as you can get it without distorting the fabric, because you spent so much time making sure you're sewing in one direction and then the other. You don't want to then distort your fabric as you go. So here you'll see I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, and all of these I've sewn. So if I'm sewing here, I'm sewing this one that way, that one this way, that one this way, that one that way. The reason being is because you do it in different directions, you won't distort your fabric then, because you're going to spend so much time making sure that you've got everything so perfectly lined up with these gorgeous triangles. You want to avoid having any form of bow in the middle of them as much as you can, because that just ruins the quilt. You want to make sure that you get it as perfect as you can. So here we have 8 pressed in one direction, and I'm just trying to save a little bit of time. So I press 8 in one direction, and now I've sewed another 2 together, and I sewed them from, I just need to double check which way round I'm sewing these. So this I am going to be, so again I'm now going to press these in the same way, and I've just realised I've got that upside down. So there we go. It's just important if you're pressing them as you go that you've got them all going the same way. So that's why I try and leave it to the very end to press everything in one direction. And Carolyn's pattern suggests that as well, which is great. And there we go. So, and you can see I'm not very good at this whole pressing thing. Now, don't set fire to anything. I'm going to leave this under here, actually. The iron is on. Yes, thanks, Joe. He's very good at that. Right, so I have now sewn this from that direction to this direction. I'm now going to sew this in that direction to make sure I'm going in opposite directions. So I have my 8 and my 2, and now I'm just going to sew these together. And it's a big quilt, this. It comes in at 70 inches square, which is a lovely size. And don't forget, we've got that lovely set of wadding we've got in today as well. So this would work really, really well with that. Now, I'm just going to increase my stitch length because that was set for foundation paper piecing. Take my shoe off. Are you working? You are, yay! Sorry, we were having a little bit of a moment with her earlier. So when I made the quilt again after my blunder on the last one, what I did was I made 2 strip sets exactly the same. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to make sure that my corners, my points of my stars were exactly the same. And I wanted to make sure that my middles were the same as well. And what's really, really great about that is you get that wonderful secondary design of your jelly rolls almost chasing each other as they go. You can see that in the quilt behind me. You can see how beautifully those lines all work together. You can see those straight lines, and you don't have to do it that way. You can do it any way you like. This is the great thing about this, is get a bit of a design wall or put it up on your wall, tack them up and see which way you want to position these. It's a really nice way to play with your fabrics and that, to be able to pick the best way to go. Sorry. Oh, we've had a message in from Christine. Hello, Christine. Oh, she's put up a photo on the Sewing Street page. Oh, she loved the Manx Log Cabin quilt. Oh gosh, and she's made that, and she's saying it's not hard to do. She's made 8 of them. Oh my goodness. All from that book. Oh, wonderful. Well, I won't deny, if I'd had a few hours sleep more available, I would have actually made them, because I have to say, it does look like the most incredible design, doesn't it? And we've also had Jane on the Sewing Street page saying that she's used the book before as well. Oh, and she's used it to make the quilt that I've made. And she's made it in red, whites and blues. Oh, how brilliant. Should we really push Joe and ask if he can get those pictures up? Oh, he can! Gosh, he's very clever, that man. So you can see I'm now pressing these all in the same direction, and once I've got them all in the same direction, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to just double check that I haven't got any pleating or different wobbles in here, and I can feel a wobble as I turned it over. I could feel a wobble in that corner over there. So all you're going to do is you're just going to give this a nice little press all the way along just to make sure. Now the reason we're doing this is twofold. Firstly, to make sure that your fabric is at that perfectly flat, but also we need to make sure that this is an exact 20.5 inch wide strip. You will see why in a few moments. So we've got a picture in of Jane's quilt, the red and white one that she's made of this. I'm really excited to see this. Let's see, Jane. Wow. Oh, Jane did what I did there with the lines going through. Oh, I love that. Oh, Jane, that's stunning. Well done. For her daughter Erin. Oh, gorgeous. I love that. You see, this is what I love when you post things on the page. We do see them, and it's just so nice to be able to give you a bit of a shout out because I know how much work went into that. And the next one we've got available is Christine's, which was that Manx Log Cabin that we mentioned. Wow. You've made quite a few there, all in the lovely Liberty fabrics there. Well done. They're beautiful. Wasn't that a bit more entertaining than me pressing this fabric? So now you've got that. Now, in order to get this measurement the same and to make sure that your corner pieces are all the same as well, you're going to make 2 strip sets exactly the same, and you're going to lay them on top of each other exactly the same and cut them all exactly the same. Exactly the same thing. It's really important that you get them going the right direction, getting them all. So if you were doing it, I would actually lay them exactly the same on top of each other, folded that. I don't know how much better or clearer to say exactly the same. It just must be. I feel it's going to be a drinking game when I say exactly the same. You have a gin and tonic. There we go. It'll be the same as when I say the one day P&P, isn't it? Now I just need to double check that my measurement is 20.5 because I have found a really, really wonderful. I really wish we could have talkback live on air. It's very funny. Just want to triple check that I'm cutting this to the right size. Yes, I am. So we have, we have available this fantastic 20.5 inch square. Oh, and I'm just going to line this on top. So there we go. So what I'm doing here, if you have a rotating cutting mat big enough, wonderful. I certainly do not. So we're going to have to do some creativity here. And you have to get it all exactly the same, everybody. Oh, you're funny. They're all going on and having a joke about me saying exactly the same all the time. It's very funny. There we go. The reason I had done that is that I had, when I measured that, that was slightly less than 20.5. And the reason being is there was a little bit of a pleat on my border there. So that's great about this ruler is that you can put this down and you can double check that it's coming in at a 20.5, which this one is. So there we go. We've now got the ruler there and you can see. There we go. Right, so I've checked that these are the same and they're almost exact. Almost exactly the same. That's it. That's my new drinking game. Every time I say the words exactly the same, somebody has to have either a gin and tonic or a biscuit. You can decide which you'd prefer. Now, rotary cutters. Of course, I didn't organise that beforehand. So if you were doing exactly the same, you would then put these on top of each other and you would cut them all identically. And it's really important that you make sure that they're going the right way. So you've got them going exactly the same way. All these fabrics are going in the same direction if you want to make sure that you're getting everything as you need it. I am now ready to cut. And the great thing with this ruler is that it is exactly 20.5 inches. So this is exactly what you would need in order to make sure that these are all cut to the right size. And when we talk about waste, this is all the waste you're going to have in your quilt. Now, I'm going to rotate the mat actually because my luck, this is where I set everything is going to go on the floor now, isn't it? Everything, sewing machine is going to go on the floor, everything. But please do not cut towards yourself. That's how accidents happen. Just take that extra time to make sure you reline everything up. And that wasn't so hard. The sewing machine is still on the table, which is a nice, pleasant advantage. Right, so this is all of the waste that I had. That was it. And I had 2 lots of these. That was all the waste I had. Now comes the fun bit, is you now have to cut these into quarter square triangles. So I'll show you the way that I did it. You need 2 rulers because this is a huge piece of fabric. And what I did is I put one on one side and one on the other side. And you'll see on all of your rulers, you always say that I've mentioned about this 45-degree line here. What you're doing is you're lining that up with the 45-degree line there, going through the corner. And then on this side, you're lining your second ruler up with the 1/4 inch line against the ruler. And then you bring these two together that they meet. Now the reason you're doing that is you want to make sure that the angle you're cutting at on this ruler is exactly right. So you can see that now goes in a straight line all the way through corner to corner. So I move that one off. I make sure, and the great thing about Creative Grids is you've got those non-slip grip dots, and then you start your cut. Now, I get to that point, so now I move my ruler up. You don't panic because you're all lined up perfectly. You can see the ruler now is completely lined up with the cut I've already done, and I'm going through the corners over there. So I'm using the 24.5 by 6.5 inch ruler, but unfortunately I did find it easier using 2 rulers because there's such a long expanse to cut here. You do unfortunately need that little bit of extra help on it. And then over here when I'm doing this side, you'll see that you've got that 45-degree line again. I'm lining that up with my edge over here, and then equally over here, I'm lining my 45-degree line up. I'm probably in the wrong place there, sorry Joe. I'm lining my 45-degree line up there with the edge, and I'm making sure that these meet in the middle. So you can see my rulers have now got that exact point that I need to go. I can take this ruler away. I put my hand down on this. And at that point, I take my rotary cutter up. You heard me lock it. It's very important you make sure you're safe with your rotary cutters. And at this point, you then go across there. Right, now I am not moving a single thing. Not moving a single thing for one reason and one reason only. In these patterns, I just want to show you over here, you've now cut your squares per picture number 4, because that's step number 4. You've cut your squares like that, okay? Now it tells you that you must build your squares like this. The colors over here go a little bit funny, and sometimes these make my eyes go funny anyway, so I just want to show you what happens here. Where you've got your triangles that are cut across the grain, so you can see over here, these triangles cut across the grain, and these two over here, these two you're going to sew together, and they are going to make these squares here. So you can see that where my hand is there, there's a seam line, there's a seam line, there's a seam line, and there's a seam line. So these two here, I'm going to sew together. And once I've sewn them together, you'll see what I mean. Now everything is on the bias here, so please be gentle with your fabric. Don't push or pull, or just let the machine do its work for you, because that's what those beautiful feed dogs are for. And today I'm using the fabulous 560. It's a beautiful little machine. So that is, you can see, that is my squares per the picture, and that slots in like that. But that's just my take on it. If you want to put yours in like that and create a square in the middle, you can. It's entirely up to you. But the ones in your quarter square triangles that are going across, those are the squares that are going to go in the middle. And that's important because you then won't end up with the pointy bits going in the middle and the stripes going out, because it's Carolyn's been really clever with her design in making sure that your star looks bigger with the points you can see what I mean, the stripes are going out. It just draws your eye more into the circle. So these 4 that you've got left here are the bits that are going to go here. So you can see those slot in accordingly that way. So it's a really, really, really easy pattern to do. Just take your time, read through it, and all I would just say to you is that the colours on this may be slightly different, so you can see, but it's unfortunate because you can't really get them all organised that way. So you can put that here, and that is this. And what just looks a bit funny is the colouring of it. And then these ones, because these are the ones going across the triangle, those are the ones that'll be in the corner as you then go through and do it from there. That's my only adjustment, not adjustment, but my just clarification on it, because that's my top tip that I found on this as well. But it's just such a lovely, lovely pattern to do. And you're then going to do the background pieces as well. Oh, sorry, background pieces, you'll cut those out per the instructions. And then you're going to do the border. So my border, I put things everywhere really safely. So the border is on, you're going to be doing the border as well, and you're pressing these all to one side as well. Now the border recommends that you're going to be sewing 10 of these strips together. I'm only sewing 4 of these together, just to show you a rough idea of how you're going to do it. You'll obviously have 10 and you'll go through and do that. Here we go. I'm not going to cut the whole thing all the way down. So all you're going to do then is you're going to cut these out the size that it recommends in the pattern. As I said, I cut mine a little bit smaller just because I wanted to make sure that I had enough to go to the edge, because if I'd used the size of the pattern I'd have been a little bit short. So all I did was I made these, I think I used 5 1/4 or 5 1/2. You can do it any size you like. Stick with the pattern size, whatever works for you. And all you're going to do is, assuming these were 10 pieces, you're going to lay those down on your cutting mat. I'm going to just cut these at 5 1/2 inches like I did with mine. Put that down. You cut your 5 1/2 inch piece. The pattern says a different size, so make sure you follow which one works best for you. And then all you're going to do is, now imagine these were 10 strip pieces. You would then sew these edge to edge, and you would then sew as many of these together as you needed for the top piece over here. I sewed 15 of mine together rather than that was what was recommended, and I just found that worked very well because I just needed 2 strips of them on the top. And there we go. So that's how and you can see these slot in here as you go down all the way down. You can see that's how your border works on that. Just take your time, read through the pattern. It's a really lovely pattern to make. You will definitely enjoy it. And yeah, please make sure you share your pictures with us. I'm so glad we could see that. What was the lady's name who did the red one? Jane. Jane, it was stunning. Well done. Now with this, you'll see that I've used the ivory colour in the background. And of course, we've got ivory for you. The pattern recommends the way we're doing this at the moment. I just want to double check because I haven't checked backing. For the front, you're going to need 1.7 metres. So you can actually then, you'd need to buy 4 units of that, which will be 2 metres. And then the background fabric is going to use 4.2 metres. So if you wanted to do the back in this as well, and the front, you're going to need 5.9 metres. So you'd need 6 metres for the front and the back, which is 12 units. And then you'd need 1 extra unit for the binding if you were going to bind it in this, because unfortunately, you're not going to have enough of the Tula fabric to bind it in. But this is a really, really lovely colour. You can see it's going to come, and if you buy it in multiple pieces, it'll come to you as 1 big piece. So if you did buy 7 metres of it, which would be 14 units, that would come to you as 1 single piece. And you can see I've used this ivory, which I think works very, it is ivory, isn't it? Oh no, that's a different, I think I used white on that. It's a different colour, but this is actually really lovely as well. But you've also got ivory, and this is ivory, isn't it? This is the ivory, yeah. Yes, sorry. This is definitely ivory, so this is the colour. So I thought I'd used ivory, but it looks like a slightly different hue on that. But that's how much you're going to get for a ½ metre, and these are available at £3.49. So it's £6.98 for a metre of solid ivory. It's a really lovely combination here. But if you didn't like the ivory, don't worry, there are loads of different colours available. If you just type in 100% cotton, you'll easily be able to find that. Otherwise, if you go and search our catalogue, so if you're looking for other colours to do this with, what would work really, really well is if you just pop onto the website, type in 100% cotton, and all the different colours that we've got available are available on there. What I'm going to do now is just actually try and professionally sprawl this fabric along there. I'm not doing very... Oh, that doesn't look too bad, actually. You always watch these videos of these people who've got these wonderful shops with all these wonderful colours just subtly sprawled all over it. I'm not that person, as you can tell. But it really works. You can tell the ivory works really well. And what I wanted to try, what I did try with the thing that went wrong, was what I did is in the middle, every third one, I put a cream one for my central blocks, because I thought that might bring the cream in, but then I stupidly didn't read the pattern correctly and sewed all 4 of them together and ended up with a giant square, and that didn't work. It went really well at that point. But I have to say that the effect of adding that cream in the middle, it not only is going to give you a few extra jelly roll pieces left over, but it does create, it brings the outside in as well, and I think it gives you a little bit more definition of these fabulous fabrics. So it's a nice way to play with this as well. And you can then also once you put them on your design board as well, if you lay them out and see what it looks like, if you got this 20-inch square, which is a really nice big square to use, and the size is this, what you would do then is once you've got it on your design roll, you can actually put them on your strip sets that you've got together, and you can see whether that's going to work for what you want to do. So I have to say this is definitely the largest Creative Grids square that they do, but surreptitiously it is the same size of the blocks that you need to cut. So it's a nice way of being able to put it. And if you put this in the middle there, you can tell that is, where is my middle? Oh, it's bigger. Sorry. I was just thinking that. I've got 4 of them in there. Never mind, excuse me. My brain's gone to sleep after all this Tula Pink. But when you've got the strip sets there, you can actually put them down and you can rotate it and see which way to do it. Because what may also work is that if you're doing when you cut your triangles out, you may want to have them all facing the same way, whereas what I did is I had one facing one way, one facing the other way. You may want to cut them all out and then have them all facing the exact same direction, because obviously if you're doing them the inverse, it's going to come out with a different block. So there are different ways of doing this completely. It's entirely up to you. It's just a really nice pattern to play with. And the Tula Pink fabric is just gorgeous. So just remind you then, the book that I'm talking about where this lovely quilt came out of is The Joy of Jelly Rolls by Carolyn Foster. Absolutely beautiful book, amazing projects. I think it's saying it's got 24 quilts and 44 gifts, so that's 68 different projects in there, all very well detailed, really great pictures, and a lovely, lovely book to be able to go through and be able to learn different things, try different things, and it's just from the beginner to a slightly more advanced. I'd call this quilt a confident beginner quilt to do. It's a really, really lovely quilt to do. But there are loads of projects in there, so do check that out, and such a great price, $9.99. Now don't forget, we've now got these wonderful colours laying out so beautifully, done just for you. And I'm kicking the ruler here, so I'm going to move my ruler over. My iron. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Joe. And again, I called you Tom again. I don't know why I do it. I did it once and now I call him Tom forever. But what I love about these is, don't forget, we've got our wonderful exclusive to Sewing Street Oriful pack here. If I get that the right way around. What I love is look at how well these go with these different products here. All of them just pop so beautifully on there. You just start looking at your colours in a different way, but it just really works. This pink is just gorgeous, and you can see on this teal, it just pops so beautifully. And the dark green just works so beautifully on all of these. You can tell this, oh, look at that violet. See, I like this blue violet. I think that is just the most beautiful, beautiful colour. And if I sneakily bring that one out, look how beautiful that goes there. It's just the most beautiful colourway to be able to highlight that gorgeous detail of Oriful. It's trying to be fancy. We're trying to bring a bit of glamour to it. You know, I run an emporium. We've got to bring the emporium to the street, you know. Gosh, are we calling it the street yet? We should, shouldn't we? There we go. Oh, and you can see that beautiful blue. Look at that. Doesn't that just work perfectly? But you can see what I mean with these threads going so perfectly with this Tula fabric. Absolutely gorgeous. You've got 10 different spools there, all of which are 200 meters each, 50 weight thread. All of the 50 weight thread is ideal for piecing, excellent for really, really dense quilting, very good for embroidery as well. And you can just see the sheen on all of these threads. So when you're actually using it, you're going to have that wonderful pop of colour through there as well. Tula is an enormous fan of orifles. She has her own wonderful collection. I think it was 86 or 98 different threads with the orifle collection. I can't possibly confirm or deny that I bought one. Can't possibly say. But it is just the most gorgeous, gorgeous thread, and the colours are so vibrant. And you can tell they work absolutely beautifully on these really lovely colours. Really, really great colour combination there. Don't forget as well, once we've got all this laid out, I'm going to leave that there. We've got our fabulous queen size waddings available today. This is the 80-20 wadding that we've got there. This is queen size, 90 inches by 108. I think that's 228 by 274 centimetres. 80-20 wadding there, which is 80% cotton, 20% polyester. It's a really lovely, I think this has got a beautiful, beautiful finish on it. Nice and light and soft and beautiful. A little bit heavier than the polyester, but I prefer that extra weight. So that's available today for £44.99. That's the 80-20 wadding there. So that's my personal preference on it, is either using 100% cotton or 80-20 cotton on that. My friend Angie, who's been quilting for 45 years, she only ever uses the polyester wadding. It's slightly lighter, and then when you quilt it, you've got that extra loft in your quilting. Just gives you that extra little bit of 3D effect when you do that quilting on it. This one's 100% polyester, also the queen size, 228 by 274 centimetres, 90 inches or by 180, and this is available for £29.99 today. Oh, we have a question in, yes. Question in from Wendy. Hello, Wendy. She's asking what batting / wadding would I use for a Christmas tree skirt? That's a really good question. For me personally, I would stick with my 80-20 or my 100% cotton wadding. The reason being is that I prefer that lovely drape of a really soft quilt on it, and it gives you that little bit of a heaviness on it as well, so it'll just lie a little bit differently. But the polyester wadding would work very, very well as well, especially if you're doing quilting of Christmas trees and things like that, because you do get that little bit of an extra pop on it as well. So it's down to that personal preference thing. For me, I love my 80-20 and my 100% cottons. I absolutely adore that. The only thing I would say is the colour that you're using. If you have got a white fabric, I'd make sure I'd be using a white wadding, or whatever wadding you're going to use, lay your fabric over the top of it first, because for example, you might not be able to see this very well on here, but this has got a slightly cream colour to it, and if I put this ivory fabric over the top of it, it changes the colour of the ivory ever so slightly. You might not be able to see that as well, but you can see just over here it's a little bit darker than if I do that, and you can see that that's plain. You can see it on the overhead actually here. You can see when it's got that colour there versus the green, it just changes that colour ever so slightly. So you'll have that slight colouring from your wadding. So whatever you, and it is very slight. So it doesn't really matter. So it depends how accurate you want to be and how true to the colours you want to be. So for myself, I'd always use a white for anything Christmassy, just if you've got a bit of white fabric on there. Hope that answers your question. And please keep them coming. It's great to hear from you all today. So don't forget as well, Rotary Cutters wise. Do you want to do all of them? Okay, cool. This is my choice rotary cutter. This is the Millwood 45mm rotary cutter. It's a really lovely rotary cutter, really good to use, and personally I prefer this because you haven't got to press the button in on that you do with the Clover one, is it, or Alpha? Oh, it is Alpha. Sorry, I thought it was Clover. My bad. So yes, the Clover one, this is the one I learnt with, and you press the button in and you take it away and you do it, and I just got a bit bored with pressing the button. It's not that the rotary cutter isn't any good. It's a fabulous rotary cutter. The first 2 years of my sewing experience, and it literally was, I got bored of pressing the button every time. So I like less steps. You can call it lazy if you want. I like less steps. So this one works really, really well for me. So I just then, when you're opening it, you're doing that, you're pushing it along, and as you come up, you do that. You've got that nice click when you're finished. And for me, that just works easier. You've got these wonderful soft grips on either side of them. So left or right-handed, you can easily rotate it around. And if you are left-handed, you don't need to move the rotary cutter either. And you've got this wonderful guard to protect you against the blade as well. And I did a lovely video a couple of weeks ago about how to change a rotary cutter. So if you want to check that out on our YouTube channel as well. That's the great thing about the YouTube channel, is you can go back there and review all the different things that we've done on there. So just have a little squiz. It's a really great little resource to have. Now, don't forget, if you are making all these wonderful quilts, we have a fabulous early bird for you today. This is, oh, running away. Stay. Behave. You're here for the day, whether you like it or not, you lovely little thing. Right, we've got our fabulous quilt labels. This is our blue and teal, orange and teal collection here. Absolutely gorgeous. You've got 27 different labels here, various sizes, different ways, not just for quilts, for bags, clothing. You've got these wonderful triangular ones on the corner over there as well, which are really great, putting in the collars of shirts as well, or dresses. Really, really lovely, lovely labels there. And it's great to be able to just add your own little label onto each and everything that you make, because you've spent so much time making it. Isn't it nice to be able to tell somebody who has made it? It's just a nice way to be able to remember what you've done. So these are just mentioned to be for quilts, so it's great to have that provenance of when you started a quilt, why you made it, where you made it, and what your name is, because it's, if that ends up in a museum at some point, everybody knows who you are. It's a lovely way of doing it. And even if it's not in a museum, I've picked up wonderful quilts in charity shops and been given them over the years, and it's or for eBay as well, and I just wish I knew who made them, because some of them are going back to the 1800s, which I absolutely adore. It's just nice to have that provenance on it. These ones are the Pink Heart quilt labels, the Ditzy quilt labels. So you've got all these beautiful labels again, 27 of them. That's coming in at, for both of the panels, not just the one, both of these panels for $9.98. So that's going to be what, $4.99 per panel? So $4.99 divided by 27. How much are we paying per label? There we go. Push the boat out there. But together you're saving £6 today. And we're just working out how much you're paying for each. We're paying 18 pence per label today for this early bird special. Such a great price for such a beautiful, beautiful product, and they're so detailed. And on the larger products, the larger labels here, you'll easily be able to use all the embroidery stitches from your sewing machine as well. It's a lovely way to be able to do it. I think these are really, really special. Nice way to do that. Now, don't forget, we are bringing you the pre-cuts from Tula today. We've done the jelly roll, which is absolutely gorgeous. Or was it design roll? I'm not too sure. We've also got, oh my goodness, I'm so excited about the hexagons. So these measure 2.5 inches over here. These are proving really, really popular on the web as well. I'm not surprised, because we haven't had the hexagons. I've never seen them in this country. They're really great. These are the hexagon ones. And then we've got our charm pack, which is our 5-inch squares as well. And then also we've got our layer cake as well, which is a 10-inch square as well. So we've got all these wonderful pre-cuts available by Tula Pink, her homemade collection. We're going to do those after the break. Haven't we had the most brilliant amount of products coming in today? I feel like it's my little mini Christmas. It's really great having all these wonderful things. So I'm not sure what we've got left to do for this hour. We're going to have a break. We're going to redo the set, because not only have we got these wonderful products, we've got more. So stick around, get yourself a nice cup of tea, a nice little biscuit. Got to have the biscuit. And we will see you in a few minutes once we've redone the set. Thank you.
Shopping with us couldn't be easier. If you want to shop online, then you can head to our website, www.sewingstreet.com. It will redirect you to our sister channel Jewellery Makers landing page. Don't worry, you haven't gone to the wrong place. We're simply using their website temporarily while we're building our own web shop. Scroll down past the Watch Live part and you'll see all of the products that you will have seen on air on today's live show. You can also shop our catalogue by clicking a category, clicking a product to view closer and adding it to your basket. Once you're ready to check out, you will need to create an account, which is absolutely free to do so, but it will mean that you can check out on as many orders as you want throughout the day with still only paying one postage and packaging. If you'd prefer to speak to somebody in our UK-based customer service team, then you can do so via the free telephone line number 0800 001 4433. They will not only help you create an account, but will also help you with any of your online shopping.
Hello there, I'm Debbie Shaw and I would love you to join me on the first Monday of every single month for Sewing Street Surgery. Now this is a dedicated hour where I answer your questions, and that could be questions about techniques, it could be questions about tools, it could be questions about new products, or maybe something that you've seen that you just don't understand. There's a lot of questions about tensions on sewing machines, and there's a lot of questions about working with different weights of fabrics. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask me, the easiest way to bring a question over to us is to go to our Facebook page and post your question on there. I will collate all of those questions throughout the week. If we need any new products for you, or if we need any new demonstrations, those will all be worked on leading up to that first Monday of the month. So do join me, Debbie Shaw, on Sewing Street Surgery on the first Monday.
Would you like to take part in our weekly competition? If you do, then all you have to do is head to the Sewing Street fan page group on Facebook. Post your picture of your make. Myself, Debbie Shaw, and John Cole Morgan love looking at all of your makes every week. We pick our favourite and announce the winner every Friday live on the show. Happy sewing and good luck.
Hi, I'm John Cole Morgan and I'm here to give you my top tips on how I go about enjoying my sewing experience. My first top tip, as everybody knows, rotary cutter safety. If you're not using it and it's not on the mat, that blade must be locked. Please be safe. My second top tip is always buy more fabric than you need. If you don't have it, it's always going to sell out. You're going to struggle to find it, and when you do, it's going to cost you a lot more than when you were going to buy it originally. So buy it all. You always regret the bit you didn't buy. My next tip is positive or negative, always listen to the advice and opinions of other people. Even if you ignore them, everybody has a different perspective, everybody has a different take on things, and it might help you along the way. The next top tip I have is always buy the most expensive and the most useful and the most practical for your brain product that works for you. Some people prefer different things, buy what works for you. And my last tip is, this is fun, this is enjoyable, and make sure you are enjoying it. Because there's nothing worse than carrying on with something and hating it and not enjoying it. You need to make sure that you're having fun. Those are my top tips and how it is that I enjoy my sewing experience. I hope they help you, because they have helped me. For more handy tips and demonstrations, make sure you watch us on our Freeview channel 74, Sky channel of 670, otherwise follow us on YouTube on Sewing Street, where you can catch up on past demonstrations and shows. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome. We love hearing from you, and we really hope that you can follow us on our social media platforms. We've got Instagram, which is @Sewing Street. We have Facebook. We've got two Facebook pages. One is the Sewing Street TV page, and the other one is Sewing Street Fans. All three of these are monitored all the time by our wonderful team, and if you want to message us on air, drop us a line on either of those three and we'll definitely be able to answer your questions that you may have. If you post on the actual wall, we can perhaps answer there. Otherwise, message us as well. That works really, really well. Thank you so much for being involved, and it's only because of this community that we're able to bring you all these different diverse products and to be able to answer your questions that you may have. Another way you can stay in touch with us is by signing up to our newsletter. These newsletters are sent out to you very regularly, and they include not only our guest profiles of upcoming guests, but also amazing shows that we've got coming up for you. And if you want to look at the amazing products before everybody else, that's the best way to do it. If you'd like to sign up and you haven't already, the link to follow is www.sewingstreet.com/sign up. You won't regret it. Thank you. Welcome back, and we've got so much Tula. It is so exciting. I am beyond excited. I cannot tell you how much I love this woman. She is so talented. So I think what we'll do is, because we haven't had the hexies on before, I'm going to show you the hexies first. Aren't these just so divine? I'm going to slide over my jelly roll, probably ruining Joe's shot as he knew I was coming to this. Oh, I love these. So here we go. Now, anybody who hasn't done EPP is English paper piecing. And what you would do is you would have a piece of cardboard, you would take a piece of fabric, and you would fold that over, glue that down or tack it, and then once you've got all of those fabric bits folded over your paper, so you'd have a 1/4 inch all the way around, you would then stitch these all together in different designs. Now, what I love about this is that you can do these in a completely random way. There are 42 different pieces in here. Just checking, they are 42. They are indeed 42 different hexagons here. And the different colours are just incredible. So you could do one of these as one of those totally random, you know, you've seen all those hexagons where people just throw them on and do different colours and everything on it. And it's a nice size to do as well, because it'll be quite a small quilt or project that you're doing. And you can see all these different hexagons coming in all the different colours. And you're going to get multiples of them through here. You can see there's the first, second, you're getting 2 of those, and you're getting 2 of these. But even though you're getting 2 of these, because they've been cut differently on the fabric, they're actually 2 different pieces, which is what I love about the scale of Tula's fabrics. And over here, when I showed in the last hour, you had that beautiful eye in that scissor handle. It's just a beautifully, beautifully done way of doing that. I think that's so gorgeous. And then we've got our safety pins here as well, absolutely gorgeous. And the great thing with the safety pins, you've got those in 3 or 4 different colorways as well, which is just perfect. And you've got that 2 of those, and then you've got this other one as well, which is just, you can't tell which fabrics they're from because it's these beautiful, beautiful different pieces. Now, you wouldn't have thought, now let me show you here, you wouldn't have thought that they are from the same fabric, but different sections of it, because you can see there's the handle of this, of the, oh, and then hang on, we've got this one here as well. But hexies are, without question, the most popular pre-cut that you can get. And you can see, just as I lay that on there, you can see how when they cut the hexagons out, you've got so many different portions of the fabric. I'm just going to see further on in the collection if I can find... I'm really sorry. I really wish you could hear talkback sometimes. I really could. Before the break, we were making coffees, and I had like, it's 10, 9, 8, so I sprinted all the way here. So my coffee got delivered, and we're just hearing how Hannah's heavy breathing. She's a little worried about her health with regards to her heavy breathing. So I'm sorry, I apologise. I should be very unprofessional and giggling all the way through this. I apologise. Please don't think that that's anything to do with these fabrics, because these are wonderful. Tula would agree. She would giggle as well. She's absolutely one of the most divine people with regards to quilting and designing and everything. She's just a fabulous person. So you've got all these wonderful different hexagons, and as I said, I haven't found hexagon pre-cuts to this size in the UK before, because I think as well, if people are able to buy this and have a go, so you're going to get 42 of these, you can then do them as a small project. And what, half's gone already? Oh my goodness, over half the stock of the hexagons have gone. You can tell. But you know what it is we've got everything of this that we can get. We cannot get any more of these. These are, and this is the best price we can bring them to you as well. $14.99. $14.99, gosh, that's a good price. I hadn't noticed that bit. I just saw Tula, I'm like, yay! So it's just a really, really great price on this. And the good thing with this is you can do all the different collections. Because you've got 42 of them, you can lay them out. And you won't end up with such a big piece as well. You'd be able to lay, well, I could lay these out here and you can see. So I'll put them in. Of course, this is where I get all excitable because I'm now going to lay these out. I'll just do 4 across. I'm doing this wrong, sorry. Is that all right? Perfect. So you can see, you just lay these out, and when you sew these together, it would be such a fun project to do. So I'm doing 4 one row, 5 the other, and you just keep it going, and you just put all these, and the great thing about doing this when it's from a collection like this, is that it doesn't matter where you lay the fabrics, because the collection is all one way, it's all one colorway, you will easily be able to put them anywhere you like, because they will all go together, because the fabrics have been designed to be that way and go together, and they're just so unique, and all the colours follow through. So the pink that you've got there is the same pink as you've got there, and the purple you've got there is the same purple as you've got there. So the colours all just gradiate into one, which I think is a beautiful, beautiful way. Because also the thing is when you're doing a project like this, if you just went and chose your favourite colours, being oranges and reds or blues or greens, you need that contrast to make the fabric work and to be really, really punchy and to work very well. And I just think that these are such a nice way of doing it, which is why I'm always so excited when I can buy the hexagons, especially for EPP projects, because they're so different. And you've got such a different feel to be able to do something like this. And the great thing with this is that you don't, if you're looking at it from a distance, you can't quite tell that they're sewing related, which is fabulous. So to give you an idea, there to there, so from the top of this hexagon to the bottom of this hexagon, and I haven't taken any seam allowances into play, that's 22 inches this way. And if I take it from the inside of there to the inside of there, we're looking at just under 17 inches. And then this is 4, 8, 12. These are 27 hexagons on this, so you can see. Actually, shall I move this and put it all out? My gorgeous display, and I'm going to drop all the Orifal everywhere. You know I am. There we go. It's like a little baby. This is why I don't have children. Wrap it up in a sheet. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just imagine with Andrew, he'll be sitting there saying, darling, the child's annoying me. Take it away in a sheet. Bye-bye, bye-bye. I would not do that. I am joking. I'm terrified we're going to get complaints one day. Well, you see, now all I'm doing is I haven't organised these into a colourway. I'm just taking them off the pack as I go. Oh, I can't do this. See, this is when you start doing that. You're going to be unpicking them as you go. You can see now I've got 2 together. But it just looks so cool. It's such a nice way of doing it. Can you imagine doing this for a bag as well? That would be absolutely stunning. So you can see now, if I take this, so I've obviously got I'm moving things to the side. The reason being is I'm going to show you. So this is at 0, and then this ends at 29.5. And then over here, this is from 31.5 and it starts at 2. So you're getting roughly 29.5 inches there, and this is 22 inches this way. So you can see that that fits perfectly on our board. And it's just such a nice way to be able to show you that you would easily be able to make a piece This would make a gorgeous wall hanging. If you're wanting to make one of those boards that you've got as a memo board, having this as a background for a memo board would be beautiful as well. In your sewing room, if you're just reminding yourself of a project that you're doing, if you want your fabric key on, this would be a really nice way of being able to do that. And it's just such a nice size that it's not intimidating. Oh, goodness me. So you clearly are loving this because there are now less than 20 of these available. Because you don't get the hexy packs before. We haven't had them before, and you can tell just how beautifully they go together, and you can do one of those random packs, and they're really hard to get hold of. So if you were wanting to make a slightly larger quilt or something bigger, this is 22 with the, obviously you've got seam allowances. I've just laid these edge to edge, and they're coming out at 29 inches that way and 22 inches that way. You've got your seam allowances to take into account as well. So if we look at it saying be maybe 20 by 25, if you wanted to do maybe a 40 by 50 inch quilt, you'd need 4 of these. So it's such a nice project to be able to do, to be able to buy those and to be able to do them nice and easily. It's just such a nice project. And now I'm going to put these all together back in a bundle, and hopefully no one will be able to notice that they're falling into my bag. So this is, are we calling this limited now? Oh, there are 15 left now. Less than 15. Wow. So you can tell how popular these are, and you can tell how well they're selling. If you are interested in getting them, please do make sure that if you've got it in your basket, you need to check out. If you haven't checked out, there is a chance somebody else may get it before you if they buy it and pay for it immediately. So please don't hang around if you want it. That's the hexagon Tula Pink Handmade 42 hexi pack, available for $14.99. Next we've got, oh, the pièce de résistance. This is just, so this is, on the website is called a 10-inch charm pack, but obviously that is a 10-inch layer cake. And I'm going to fold that in there. So I'm now going to take that off. And now you're going to be able to see the beauty of Tula's designs. This is the biggest pre-cut that's available. You can't, I don't think there is a larger pre-cut out there. This is a really great way to be able to show the fabrics as they're meant to be with all the large designs in a larger scale. Can you imagine that? That is just beautiful. And now you're getting multiples of some of these, so you're getting 2 of those. But now this orange, can't you tell just how beautifully that works? And then when I put this on this fabric over here, you can tell the pink is the same as the tape measure, but that bright orange just pops everything. And the great thing with this is it works with turquoise and teals as well, and most of us wouldn't be brave enough to put those together. Now, you remember I said to you earlier how the scale, you've got these gorgeous pair of scissors and how the eyes pop through there as well. It's just such a gorgeous, gorgeous design that she's made here. It's absolutely stunning. Then we've got these beautiful safety pins. Again, we wouldn't have thought putting that bright orange with that teal, with that gorgeous purple in the background would have worked. But look, it does really, really, really well. And you can see there, again, you can see that gorgeous scissors there with the eyes. It just pops so beautifully on this. Oh, and again, you can see the detail on these as well. And I love the fact that you just get one eye over there and you've got 2. So it's like, I'm always watching you. That's not creepy at all, is it? I've just got this image of people sitting in the other room saying, I'm watching you. And people are like, oh my goodness, Sewing Street has turned. But look at this gorgeous tape measure here in that gorgeous green. Oh, and it just pops with that yellow. Oh, I love this. Now, if you're joining us for the first time today, welcome. We probably won't, I'd like to say we're not always so a bit silly today, but we've had so many amazing products and I got overexcited and I probably had a bit too much sugar this morning. So apologies for that. We're normally much more demure. Much more demure. But look at the Tula, but look at these sprinkles as well. You might not be able to see all the colours on there, but you can just tell they are just that, they look almost metallic there, don't they? So Tula fabric, I have always looked online and seen Tula fabric since I started. Sorry, I'm just distracted now. That's that gorgeous Bernina that she designs. And that's the foot nested beautifully amongst all that beautifulness. But what I love about it is that she's not only put the foot and the wires and the cable to plug in, but over here you can see she's put these gorgeous stars in it as well. So it gives you that nice pop of detail in the background. And you can tell Joe's on his way in. So Tula I heard about very, very early on into my quilting journey. You can see, look at those stars there. Aren't they just beautiful? They're just gorgeous, very cleverly done. So I learned about her in about 2015. And I knew that there was this, and I want to say this in the nicest possible way, there was this crazy designer, and she is a crazy designer because her ideas are bonkers and beautiful and amazing in so many ways. And then in about 2017, 18, I think it was 17, my friend who runs a quilt shop in Basingstoke, she messaged me to say, oh, do you want to come to a Tula talk? And I was like, yes, yes, I'm coming. And we went down to Dorking to go and to the Pam and Nikki Lintot's place. They hosted her. All these wonderful people I've met all the way, and that was Pam and Nikki Lintot's book we did the other day as well. They're fabulous. So they hosted Tula, and she did a class and a talk, and I tell you, about 8 minutes into the talk, that was it. I was hooked. She is so charismatic, and her design process, she comes out with a picture. What I never forget, she did this talk about when you're walking in a field, this is what you see, and she's got this picture of this beautiful, idyllic walk where you're going down amongst trees and you've got all the trees over, and she says, and this is what I see, and she overlays it with these psychedelic colours and squirrels coming out of the tree and these beautiful overhanging branches with oranges and greens. There were no oranges and yellows, and there were no oranges or yellows everywhere, and it was just the way she did that just made me see the genius of Tula, because she is so talented and her genius comes through with these gorgeous fabrics. I didn't know that. Apparently she used to design for record labels. I did not know that. What I do know is that I absolutely adored her mum, and she and I ended up gossiping and chatting, and I didn't even realise it was Tula's mum. And her mum is her manager, and she is amazing. And I didn't even know who she was. I was just chatting away, and she was so lovely. And her family are the key to the business in every way. But when I met Kat, she was telling me how she used to have a fabric shop, and Jenny Doan, the fabulous Jenny Doan, she used to occasionally shop at Kat's shop as well. So I thought that was quite a nice little synergy, because Angela Walters, Tula Pink and Missouri Star Jenny Doan all live within a 30-minute drive of one another. So the three, what I call the three pillars of quilting in the US, all live within 30 minutes of each other, which I think is genius. And guess where I'm going when the travel ban is lifted? If I can get time off. Look at that! Oh my goodness, I just love that with all those beautiful sprinkles on there. And all the way I'm gushing about Tula, she's got the most fantastic web pages as well, and social media posts that she does on how to use her fabrics and how to do EPP as well, all available free for you. And she shows you all these really clever tricks on how to use fabric for English paper piecing as well, because she does the most incredible English paper piecing designs. And what I love here as well, you can see these are actually the grids that you would use as graph paper. If you're doing dressmaking, you get those grids. But she's put that clever technique of the button, the heart, the scissors, the needles, and her sewing machine in the middle. It's just very, very cleverly done. And this one you can see a bit better here with the hearts coming out of the hand, and you can see all the love that goes into our sewing. Oh, I hadn't seen the thimble before either. It's just really, really clever. And what I love about the layer cakes is you get that little bit extra large piece of fabric that you're able to then see what the designs are. Because if you're doing that as a 2.5 inch piece, you can see that's what you're getting, which is still beautiful, but there you've got the whole lot there. It's lovely. Oh, that would be good. Hannah was just saying, wouldn't that be nice if you had 4 of those just as a giant cushion for your sewing room? I love that. So that is the 40, those are the 42 pieces. 42 pieces in our 10-inch layer cake strip there that you're getting. Such a lovely, lovely collection, and it just shows the fabric there. Wow, I'm learning half of these have gone already. Not surprised, it's such a fabulous, fabulous colorway, these. Really beautiful colors, really beautiful fabrics, and just all the different designs. Everyone you look at, they're absolutely stunning. Now, of the stock that we have available, the most stock that we have available left, we brought these in because charm packs are always so popular. And if you've never had pre-cuts before and you've never used Tula before, perhaps the layer cake is a bit too much fabric, because what you're going to get there are 42 pieces in this. So if we divide the 42, so fabric is normally 40 inches wide complete. So if you put 4 of these together, you're getting width of fabric, and you can get 10 across, so that's going to be 100 inches, and then you'll have 2 left over. So 100 inches this way, that's 2.5 meters of fabric by 40 inches, and then you'll have 2 little pieces left over. So that's a huge amount of fabric there. What's that, 2.5, just over 2.5 meters? So that may be too much fabric for you. Don't have to worry, because we always try and buy in as much as we can to be able to entice people with different levels that they want to do. So if we use the same methodology here, you've got 42 pieces, you've got 5 inch here, so you're going to use 8 strips that way. So if you do 8 of these blocks that way, and then 5 this way, this is going to be 1.25 meters, because it's half the size of the layer cake. So you're going to get 1.25 meters of these, 42-inch strips. So this is kind of, if you're wanting to try a pre-cut and you've not tried one before, these are really good. And what's really great is you don't have to do a lot of work with it. If you sew 6 across and 7 down, it's 42 pieces and you've got a quilt. And it's done. And it's 6 across would be 30 inches and 7 down would be 35. So it's a really nice way of doing it, using a pre-cut for the first time. And I always recommend people who are starting quilting and have not done it before, if you take these and you just sew them together, you learn more about your 1/4 inch seam. You don't have to cut anything. So these are all cut for you and they're all exactly the right size. So it's a great way of learning your 1/4 inch seam, using a pre-cut on that, and you end up with a really nice sized piece of something that you can use. It's a really great way of learning. And with these you're getting exactly the same fabrics, but obviously they're cut slightly smaller, so you'll be able to see each one of them are slightly different in the way that you do them. Love that. Love these, and those little eyes are watching you again. I know that sounds so creepy on the thing, but I'm watching. Do you know what I'm thinking though? Is if somebody actually ended up saying, I want that as a text message notification. I wonder if I could get that as an audio file and change it on Andrew's phone. That would be slightly alarming. Don't worry, darling, I won't. Great thing is he's on calls at the moment, so he won't be hearing this, which is great. I'm terrified the day you say, and we've got a message in from Andrew. So I have a really amazing grandmother-in-law, 98 years old, and every year she gives all of the boys in the family money for Christmas, and she sent me money for my birthday present this year, and I was so touched. So I've actually taken all of that money and I've bought a whole load of layer cakes and I bought a whole load of jelly rolls, and I'm very lucky to have such a wonderful family. We see the great thing is I multi-buy them, and I might have bought quite a lot, might have matched Granny's present in buying. And the thing is with these, the jelly rolls, all you do that you kind of Jenny Doan had a wonderful way of sewing it, and I don't have a closed one. She says you put 1 jelly roll, 2 jelly rolls, 3 jelly rolls, and then the top one you face you. You've got 4 jelly rolls and they just stare at you from across the room. That's exactly what mine are going to do. Or you make them into a quilt over there and that's it. Because that only needed 1 jelly roll. I'm driving Joe mad now. This only needed 1 jelly roll, so I could put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how many I bought. But you've got to, because you can't get them at the minute, and they're so beautiful. And just look how beautiful they all are. Because this is the great thing about doing a layer cake is, although you know you've got that dot sewing machine in the corner, this is giving you a different aspect to the fabric, because that is equally as beautiful as well. Absolutely adore this. Well, what I love with these is what you do is you can fussy cut them all out. So if you're wanting to do just that hand dropping out a heart, you just cut it out as a hexagon as you go, and that's your EPP person. So when they're talking about fussy cutting, Tula Pink's fabric is perfect for fussy cutting. You're getting 2 of those, and I'll show you what the easiest way of fussy cutting is, if I can find my small little ruler. So if you were going to do a hexagon, you could then, you get the little plastic templates which are shaped as hexagons, so you can actually just go and cut out that little heart as a single portion in the middle. And you'll find that, I don't know if any of you follows Alison Glass and Juicy Juice, they've done a miniature series where you're able to do all these different miniature patterns, and if you do all 8 of them you get one for free at the end. But a lot of people have used Tula's fabric because the miniatures are so tiny that they've cut out these hearts, sewing machines, scissors, all of these individually to use in those miniature programs. And it's just such a lovely way to use this fabric. And the great thing is they sell templates. All of Tula's quilts that you can do by hand all sell templates. So you can go and you can physically cut out each individual aspect of each of the fabrics, how you want to use them. She's very, very thoughtful in the way she does things. And there we go. Those are the 42 strips you're going to get with the charm pack. Each of those are 5 inches square. If you wanted to use these and you want to know how much fabric you're getting, you'd use 8 across this way, which would be 40 inches. And you'd get 5 going this way, which would be your 25 inches. No, is that right? Sorry. 25 inches. So my measurements earlier were wrong. Sorry, I'm just double checking. So 8 this way would be 40. And then you'd be going 5 that way, sorry, 8 this way would be 40 inches, and then going this way you'd have 5, so 5 lots of 5 is 25 inches, and you'd have 2 left over. So sorry about that, you'd have 25 inches this way, which is that much of fabric, there we go, 25 inches there, 40 inches this way, so with the fabric you'd have that much. But again, if you're going to do this as a patchwork piece, you can easily sew 6 in a row, 7 down, and that would give you 30 inches less seam allowance by 35 less seam allowance. So it's a nice little amount of fabric there to try and to learn with, and it is the one that is most popular because a lot of people will buy 2 charm packs rather than a layer cake, because then you can do 12 by 14 and you get a really nice size quilt then. So that's, you know, that's 60 by 70 inches. No, that's not right. The math's not my strong point this morning. I haven't had enough coffee. But you can easily do 12 this way. So that would be, yes, 12. That's 60 inches this way. And you could do 14 down that way. And you can work it out however you wanted to do it, just multiplying it by 24. So 42, if you get 2, you're getting 84. Sorry, my maths is not all over the place now. So you'd be able to do 8 by 8 is 64. 8 by 9 is 72. So you'd be able to 72. So you could do 8 by 9. So you'd go 8 across this way, which would be 40 inches, and down would be 45. So 2 of these would give you 40 by 45 less your seam allowances. And you'd have a few spare left over. So forgive me on my maths then, my brain is completely dead then. Sorry, I just got a bit lost in a little math loop. And then don't forget, we've got our wonderful little jelly roll as well. Yours won't come in a sheet covered in Aurifil thread, but this was what we showed you earlier just to show you how beautiful our Aurifil collection is. Gosh, and well over half of our design rolls have gone already, but it's such a lovely, lovely collection that we've got there. And then using these wonderful Aurifils that we have as well, almost lost one there. These are the 10 Aurifil collections that we've got with us today, covered in Tula Pink threads now. So if you haven't seen these yet, this is the collection of the Aurifil that we've got. These are the threads for the Aurifil. We've done our jelly rolls on that, which we've made with that quilt behind us. And if you are going to make the quilt behind us, don't forget you're going to need to get some of this ivory colour background or another colour background to be able to do that. But what we're going to show you now is these wonderful Aurifils. We've got 10 spools of the Aurifil there. Each of them are 200 meters of thread, 100% cotton. They are 50 weight, so perfect for quilting, perfect for piecing. And just look at the sheen on them. They're just the most gorgeous, gorgeous colors there. You're getting 10 different colors. Those colors I'm going to pretend to read out of the top of my head, but I'm not. I'm reading them off the sheet. You're getting light beige, you're getting turquoise, you're getting violet, you're getting light blue violet, you're getting green, fuchsia, dark carmine red, you're getting midnight, mist and black. And you have to admit that any piecing that you do, these are the majority of the colours that you're going to do and use or will ever need. And these are exclusive to Sewing Street as well. Now, if like me, you're going to get these and you don't want to use them just yet, they also come in this wonderful little storage box. Because not all of us want to use them, we just want to stare at them from across the room. Now, I know a lot of you are Aurifil collectors and regular users of Aurifil, so if you do want to know the codes and the colours of them, they are available on our website. So if you type in, go onto the website www.sewingstreet.com, you'll see there's a little search bar at the top. If you type in Aurifil, you'll see all the threads that we have, and if you click onto the one here, which is our Essentials collection, it'll tell you the exact numbers of each of these threads, because I know a lot of you do want to make sure that you're getting the same numbers all the way along. So again, it comes to you with this wonderful display pack, which you're then able to put, and you'll be able to keep all your threads in there as well, have them stare at you from across the room if you want to. Really, really lovely products there. And have that there. So poor Joe's been running around doing the cameras here, and there we go. So that's what you're getting there for $33.99. So if you haven't already been tooled out, I have one more. I'm sorry, I'm not even going to try and put that back together. I'm not even going to give it a go. So this is our jelly roll that we spoke about as well. Putting that over there. But now, how am I going to show you this quilt? Lots of threads. Now, I'm going to have to stew my stretchers here because this is without question a little workout. But I have to say it's a workout I will do any day of the week because I ended up getting this for my birthday as well. I'm very excited. I was very spoilt on my birthday, and the fact that I managed to get this much Tula for my birthday as well is just extraordinary. And I have to say the most treasured possession in my sewing room is actually on the class I did with Tula Pink, is I made the beginning of her Tula Nova quilt, and she signed it, and I've actually put that in a little frame, and that is my little claim to fame, is that Tula touched that. It's lovely, I love that. Right, where are we at the top and the bottom? There's the top. So this is called the Tula Sunburst quilt, and it's enormous. So bear with. I was hoping that was Joe coming out to help me, but it's not. It's huge, I told you. 86 inches by 86 inches. Debbie, I'm popping your stand over here, darling. The one I destroyed, and I'm going to put these down because I'm definitely going to throw those off the stage. I'm sorry it's taking so long, but look how huge this quilt is. So the kit that we're selling today, everything that you need to make the front and to do the binding is included in the kit. Now, we're almost at the very end of our set. But look at that. That is just absolutely gorgeous. And if you can't tell, yes, those are bananas. They are bananas in the fabric. And I want to say bananas in pajamas, but they're not. Because what you've got as well is when you go to the points, look at the colours. And you can see this gorgeous vibration of colours and how she does this so effortlessly. Absolutely gorgeous, and you can see there the different colours that go through right down to the middle. This is the Monkey Wrench collection that she's got available here, and I absolutely adore this. It is so, so absolutely beautiful. Very, very cleverly... What? Oh, sorry, I feel like I'm rubbing my... Sorry about that. I had my microphone saying hello to the Tula quilt there. Sorry about that. So you can tell that this is so beautifully quilted. It is so beautifully made. And all of this is available in this wonderful kit for $149.99. On my birthday, the 29th of May, we ended up having a show as well, and I can't remember the lady's name who made this quilt. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sally Stevens, of course it was. Sorry, Sally. I've got too many things going in my head and I couldn't remember what 4 times 8 was, so apologies. That's how bad it is this morning. More coffee needed. But you can tell the colours on this are just exquisite. And look how beautiful this is. It is absolutely stunning. Sally's made the most gorgeous demonstration for us to tell us how to make this quilt. Obviously, unfortunately, the backing's not included in this. Now, I'm really sorry, and I know it's a nice, safe, clean area down the bottom there because I put a mat. The box is there, so sorry, I just can't. There is a box under there to keep it. So there we go, we've got that. Now, let me show you what you're getting. So this is how is everybody getting the box with it? I'm not sure if you get the box with it. Some do, some don't. I don't think you get a box with, I didn't get a box with mine, so I'm not sure how it works. Some will, some won't. Please don't be upset if you don't have a box, because you get exactly the same thing in each one. I shouldn't open that from the top, I should open it from the bottom. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. There we go. Oh, I'm liking these new little scissors. They're very cute. They're really good. It just gives you that nice little bite there. So these are now our official box opening scissors, and they're really good. Oh my goodness, look at this! Oh, it feels like my birthday all over again, because I literally got to open this on my birthday on air for the gift my husband didn't know he bought me. So here we've got the fabulous pattern. Now the pattern is really, really good. It's very user-friendly. It'll show you exactly what you need to know and how to do all of this. But don't forget, if you flick to the 29th of May, you'll be able to go to the tutorial by Sally Stevens on how to actually make this quilt. It is absolutely wonderful. Then you're going to get this enormous, enormous amount of fabric. Now remember, you're making an 86-inch square quilt, so you're going to need a lot of fabric for that. And they've kiddie-proofed it. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's just a bag. I should be able to manage that, shouldn't I? I have a black belt in shopping on 4 continents. I should be able to open a bag. So there we go. We have got this wonderful, wonderful combination of colours. I'll start with the largest amount of fabric that you're going to get, which is this wonderful monkey wrench fabric. But look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? And I've just picked it up to go to the wrong camera. I'm so sorry, Joe. But look at that. You get loads here. Now, I don't know the quantities of everything. I don't think it's given to us. This one is 4 1/4 yards, so I'm not going to unfold that, but I'm certainly going to unfold everything else. So that one is called, but look at the detailing on it. And that monkey is definitely watching you, isn't he? So that one is called the Monkey Wrench Dragon Fruit. So that's 4 1/4 meters that you're getting of that. Isn't that just stunning? So that's the first one you're getting there. So that's going to be your background. So you saw that in the corners all the way around the quilt there. And then we're going to start at the top. So I'll start at the bottom. Now the reason being is I'm thinking, how am I going to stack all of this at the same time? So you see, you've always got to be thinking ahead. So this is just how much you're getting on some of the fabric. So each of the pieces of fabric, you get the amount that you need to be able to make it. But now you can see all these gorgeous little froggies on here. Look at that. But from a distance, it just looked a bit like a vine. But look at the detailing on all those gorgeous frogs. But even that frog there with a leaf all over its back, it's beautiful. Really, really, really gorgeous designs. All Tula Pink's monkey wrench range, this. What I love is she just sits there and draws it out on a piece of paper, and then voila, 468 different designs. All in a week. Now this is a fabric you're going to use for your binding, so your binding is included in here as well. And that binding is so clever because it actually then ties everything in so perfectly. And then we've got our pink froggies. I'm pretty sure it's not called pink froggies. Let's see if I can figure out what the names of each of them is. This one's called Ribbit in Mango. Ribbit in Mango. And this one is number I, and this is called Parrot Prattle. Oh my goodness, I love that. And if you actually look at the little yellow outlines, they are parrots. The Parrot Prattle, love that. But you can just see that gorgeous detailing with those lines going all the way through there. They just, oh, it's absolutely stunning. So you're getting 5/8 of a yard of the Parrot Prattle. And then we have our pom-poms. What a great name for a spot. But the tones on her fabric are so beautiful. And you can tell the tones on that one there, tying in with the Parrot Prattle, you can see how beautifully they go together as well, because they're using the same green and then the light leaves are the same purple. So you can just see that thought and detail that she's gone into to do these designs is brilliant. And what I love is she also does solids, and her solid ranges are absolutely beautiful. This one's called Persimmon. Persimmon, and you're getting 1/4 yard of that. And then this one is called Cajun, which I love. Look at the deep red of that. It's absolutely beautiful. Also getting 1/4 yard of that one. And then this one is called, brace yourself, Don't Slip. Look at that. Don't slip on the bananas. Isn't that gorgeous? See, I absolutely love the bananas in this range, and I think this might be my favourite fabric in the range, or the other bananas, which I think is number D, Don't Slip Again in Dragon Fruit. I think that's my favourite one, because I love those, but I think there's one deeper on that I like as well. So this one is also called Parrot Prattle, but this one is in a colour called Guava. Oh, got these wrong way. No, I've got it completely upside down now. There we go. You can just see the little parrot eyeballs there. We're covered by eyes today with our Tula fabric there. Love that. And then this one is called Spots on Spots in Dragon Fruit. I love the colour on this. And I love the fact that it's got that movement in the fabric and how it just gently turns and twists. It's just very, very cleverly done. And you can see you've got the little pinwheel there. Look at the pinwheel just there. Very, very clever. Really good design on that. That's what you get from great quality. Oh my goodness, look at this one. This one is called, oh no, it's not. Sorry, the one previously was Hourglass. My apologies. This one is called Spots on Spots. But I love the fact it's got little baby ladybirds. And all the ladybirds change colour as you go along the fabric. Love that. And the next one, we've got Pom-Poms in Iris. Just such a lovely colourway as well. And again, talking about thoughtful colouring, you can tell now when you go and look at these, the spots on spots, you can tell that that is the same colour as the dot. And even though they're not the same colour, you can see how perfectly well they all blend together. Very, very clever designs on those. This one is called Cosmo. Really lovely pink colour there. But what I love about this is the quality not only of the fabric, because it really is a great, great quality. These are by the company Free Spirit, who do all of Kay Fassett's fabric, and Anna-Marine Horner, and they do all of Tula's fabrics. So the fabrics are really, really great qualities, but also the qualities of the colours and the thoughtfulness on the design and the intensity of it. They're really, really well done. Now this one is called Hourglass again, and this is Hourglass in Guava. And then we have M, which is the Parrot Prattle in Mango. Oh, I really want to get talk back on the air. And this is my favourite one. This is my absolute favourite one. This is called Don't Slip in Dragon Fruit. And I'm sorry, but this is, without question, my favourite fabric in this collection. Just because it is fun and vibrant, and you've got the stripes on the bananas, the dots on the bananas, the plains, the pop of pink in every one of them. I absolutely adore it. But you know how I love my salvages. Look at that salvage. I'm sorry, but look at that. You've got Tula Pink, so you can see Monkey Wrench, Tula Pink, Don't Slip. But look at the bananas, all the different colours on all the bananas that she's used. And I'm sorry, but that to me is just heaven. I love that. That is definitely a salvage that I would put onto my design wall very, very happily. And that is the fabric collection that you're going to get with this wonderful Starburst Monkey Wrench quilt. So that is a huge amount of fabric. You've got this wonderful pattern that explains exactly how to do everything that you need to make this gorgeous quilt, 86 inches square, and available to you today for £149.99. Really such an amazing quilt, really great design, and such fabulous fabrics. You definitely will love making that. I was looking online the other day, and a lot of people that I know personally have bought this fabric and bought this kit, and we're actually trying to think about, should we do a sew along? And I did wonder that if we did that, that could be quite a nice little project, that we all do one diamond strip for something as a sew along, because it's just one of those fabulous quilts. It'd be nice to be able to do together. So if you have bought it and you are going to do it, let us know when. Maybe we can all coordinate and get that together, because that'd be quite nice to do. And that is the wonderful Starburst quilt there by Tula Pink. So the great thing as well with we've got our wadding today, we've got this is the 80-20 wadding that we've got here. This is the wadding I will be using to quilt my Tula quilt. It's a little bit bigger than the quilt that you need, but remember, if you're sending your quilt to a long armour, you do need to have 2 to 3 inches more on either side than the quilt. The reason is that when you're putting a quilt on a machine as a long armour, you have to clamp the sides to keep the tension. So if you're getting the quilt backing and wadding the same size as the front, when you put the clamps on, the machine can't physically get to the end because you've got the clamps on. So that's why you always add a couple of inches onto either side so that the clamps can safely hang on to the quilt. Because there are ways of being able to hold it, get the quilt to quilt that section and put it back, but the tension always goes out on the actual whole stretch of the quilt. And then if you're doing edge-to-edge quilting, the pattern just moves ever so slightly, because it's impossible for you to hold a piece of fabric like that constantly, attach something onto it and it stay in the same place. It's just impossible. So that's why this would actually work perfectly for your Tula quilt, because you do need those extra inches on the side if you're sending it to a long armour. And then obviously you'd have loads left over at the bottom, which you can use then for a whole load of placemats as well. So this is available today for £44.99. This is 80-20 wadding, 80% cotton, 20% polyester. And for myself, I personally prefer this because you get a really soft, simple drape on it, and it's a really nice weight. And it is a little bit heavier than using 100% polyester, but I quite like that because I like being snug as a bug when I'm in bed at night. So I like that one for me. But then the polyester one, my friend Angie only ever uses polyester on it. She would use this for her quilt as well. And the great thing is this has got a white colorway as well. So any fabric you're using, you won't have any color difference between your wadding using white or whether you're using the cream. This one would give you that extra little bit of bounce when you're doing a quilt. It'll have that automatic 3D effect by using the polyester. But it's also a lot lighter, so you won't end up having your quilt being quite so heavy. And that's available today, 100% polyester, 90 inches by 108 for $29.99. Really, really great price, and it's a lovely product as well. And my friend Angie, what she doesn't know about quilting, it's just not worth knowing. She knows absolutely everything, 45 years doing it, and she knows everything on that. Now, when you are going to start a new project or anything like that, and I normally change mine every sort of 6 to 8 hours of sewing and of cutting. The reason I do that is you will notice the second you change your rotary cutter blade, you will immediately feel the difference, and you'll be like, oh my goodness, and it just slides through your fabric so much easier. So this is, it's one of those things that we don't get into the habit of doing. We're supposed to clean our machine every 6 to 8 hours of sewing. I don't. But I should, especially because I'm not using that gorgeous Oriful thread, because it extends the life of your machine. This would actually you're extending the life of your arms basically, because the less pressure you're putting onto your wrists and everything with doing any form of cutting, the better for you. These rotary cutter blade sets, there are 3 in here. And you're basically just saving yourself so much effort and that extra pressure, because you all know once you've been cutting for 6 to 8 hours, and I know many of us don't, you really end up with cramp and it's really sore and it just takes a lot out of you. Having a fresh blade in just makes that job so much easier. So I did a video the other day of how to change your rotary cutter blade. There are 3 in here, and these are completely universal. They can work with any single rotary cutter that you have. 45mm blades here, and you've got 3 of them for $8.99. Really, really good. And check the YouTube channel on how to change your blade as well, and be very careful when you are. It's very easy to do it wrong. So many of you have seen these micro stitch tools. We have got some extra bits to go with them. This micro stitch tool is a fabulous, fabulous tool to be able to go and help you to quilt your quilts. There are many different uses for them. One of the ones, the main one I use it for is for quilting, if you're going to be doing hand quilting as well actually, and if you're doing it machine quilting, not on a long arm, because when you've got the micro stitches in them, it holds your fabric a lot tighter than it does with just traditional basting as well. You've got 1,080 different tacks. Are we calling them tacks or stitches? Tacks, yeah, the smallest tacks. So these are the smallest tacks that you can get. It's a really, really, really great product to be able to use. Not only can you use it for quilting, if you're going to be doing a display case where you're attaching shoes and dresses and things in a picture frame, you can easily be able to do that. If you just want to attach a little ornament to the top of a hat of something like they have here, these are really, really good. They're great to put on and very easy to use, but also very easy to take apart if you need to as well. You've got loads of details of how to use them over here. The other good one that I heard is somebody using these for the other day was if your hem on your trousers or your skirt have fallen down, it's a really quick fix to be able to tighten, just zap that through, and you can easily get that fixed back to where it was and then go back and fix it later if you're just running out the door and noticed that. Then that's a really nice way of doing it. There are, I think I said 1,080 different stitch micro fasteners in here. You've got all the different instructions on how to use it, easy to load and all of that. You can do that very, very easily. And it's such a lovely, lovely product, this. That's available for $24.99. Now, if you don't find that 1,080 micro stitches are enough, we have brought you, these are 1,200, packs of 1,200 that are available here as well. These are the black fillers, and you get 1,200 of them. They're exactly the same as the ones that you get in the micro stitch tool, but they're just an additional amount to have, because you do actually go through them a lot quicker than you think you do. This is available today for $4.99, but if you don't want the black ones and you want the white ones, we've got those as well. These are also 1,200 different stitches on there. Sorry, 1,200 different tacks. They're micro stitch fastener refills. You can call them tacks or stitches, whichever works for you. These are also available at $4.99, and it's just great to be able to get some of these at the same time, because sometimes you can't actually get these in stock, and obviously with availabilities at the moment where we all are, everybody's trying to get as much shipments in as we can, but just get a couple in case you know that you're going to be doing a giant quilt. It's nice to have them in your stash in case you need them. So we've got them available in black and in white, but don't forget, when you do buy the tool as well, you've got 1,080 in there already for you. Now, don't forget, today we have been full of absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous products. Really, really lovely. And today we launched this book. It's the only place you can get this book for a whole week. This is the Q book of embroidered flowers written by Trish Burr in conjunction with the Royal Gardens of Kew. Absolutely gorgeous book. We covered that at 8 o'clock this morning. You're also going to get 5 random DMC skeins that go with that. So you will easily be able to give that a nice little bit of trial on that as well. Over half the stock of this is gone at the moment. It is just the most beautiful, beautiful book. Really, really stunning. I'll show you a few of the gorgeous pictures in here as well. You get all the iron-on transfers in this folder at the beginning. So you're getting a big wad of those. I'm not quite sure how many you're getting in there, but you've got quite a load in there. And each of these are usable up to 5 times as well. So you can easily trace out these gorgeous transfers here. You can trace that onto the iron-on transfer and then just iron those onto your fabric and easily be able to go. So you can see we go from much more advanced, because I'm starting at the back, you can see these really advanced poppies and products here. You've got the wonderful the thread substitutes of all the different threads. So if you were using DMC, you can transfer it back. But you can see I'm starting at the back, so you've got much more advanced embroidery over here. But the great thing about this book is that you are able to do these incredible, difficult, complicated looking products right at the end, but you've got all the tools at the beginning to teach you how to get there. It shows you exactly how you are going to blend those fabrics. It tells you what kits you need just to make your project that little bit easier. It shows you which hoops are the best to use. It shows you the lamps and things that you might want to consider putting in and using as well. It shows you all the different skeins and how you're going to use them, whether to use cotton or silk. It shows you absolutely everything you need to know before you even start doing the projects. And then you'll be able to see as well. It tells you the outlines, tells you the raised embroidered sections as well to give that 3D effect on the stitching over there. But then once you've got all that beautiful detail, it gives you a starter project as well, where you're able to then go and just give it a go and try everything and see how that's working for you. And then you're able to expand that as you go along, and maybe you want to do this beautiful sampler that they've done of the 18 different designs to make this gorgeous sampler over here, but then breaking them down on each piece over here as well. It's just a really beautifully written book, absolutely gorgeous, very, very beginner friendly, and it shows you exactly how it is you can do all of this. And the great thing about this is that it's in conjunction with Q, so you've got this incredible detailing on the flowers that look incredibly intimidating there, but what I love is they've broken it down into step by step by step instructions on exactly how to do it. And with that synergy with Q, you're able to then be able to create these incredible flowers and be able to make something so beautiful that is so realistic to what the flowers actually look like in their natural environment. Look at that stem. Just look at that, bless you. Sorry, Hannah sneezed then, so I was just saying bless you. Everyone else says bless you too. But you can see the detailing on this little bud over here. It's so beautiful. And that just that simple green stitch over the edge just completely changes that entire design. Absolutely stunning, stunning book this. Launched today, available exclusively to us for the rest of the week. More than half the stock has gone already, and I'm not surprised. If you want to catch up on that, get our 8 o'clock show today on the 8th of June. You'll be able to catch that up. Available for $21.99. Which one am I getting next? Perfect. Now, in our repeat today, we're going to have our 9 o'clock show, which is showing you how to make this wonderful quilt here by Tula Pink. I've used 2 jelly rolls today, only because I made a mistake in the middle of it and then decided, you know what, I'm going to use the 2 the same. And that was why I ended up doing 2 on that. But you can then see the design, how that changed ever so slightly by being able to get these straight lines all the way through, and you can see that was the way there. And was it Jane who showed her lovely quilt earlier as well? She did the same thing, being able to then have these exactly the same as I've done here, having these lines of fabric going all the way through and all the way through here, just then divided by that beautiful cross in the middle. So it's a nice way of being able to do it, and then you can make 2 quilts because you've got 2 jelly rolls. And you can see these are all the different fabrics you're going to get within the jelly roll as well. So many beautiful colours, so many beautiful designs, all by that gorgeous Tula Pink. She's got the most fantastic eye for colour, really beautiful designs. Some of them you're getting 2, some of them you're just getting 1. But you can tell even when you're getting 2 pieces, they're all so different because the scale of the fabric is so large. You're getting different pieces of the fabric all the way along. Just gorgeous. So watch back our 9 o'clock hour. You'll be able to see exactly how we did that and all the different fabrics in here as well. Absolutely stunning. We've had, and honestly, I feel like it's Christmas morning for me because I've had so many amazing different products to be able to bring to the show today, to be able to show all of you. So if you haven't been able to catch up with our show today, pop onto our website, www.sewingstreet.com. And then don't worry, because it says Jewellery Maker, they're our sister channel, so we're able to then be able to share a website with them whilst ours is being built. And you can go through, and if you go down just below the YouTube page where I'm with you now, hello, you just go a little bit below there, you'll see there's a search by catalogue. Go a little bit below that, and all the products from today's show, all 3 shows, you'll be able to then go through the products there and see what we've had on the show today, which is a nice, easy way of being able to do it. And we've just got so many fabulous products. Really, really great. So what we got on tomorrow? We've got, is it Vicky in tomorrow or Debbie? Vicky's in tomorrow. So we've got books and fabric bundles. We've then got a kit roundup. Ooh, what's that? And then we've got the sewing room delights, which I'm really excited to see. I want to know what the kit roundup is. Ooh, I'm going to have to look on the schedule for that. That looks exciting. So that's all with Vicky tomorrow morning. And I'm off until Friday. Don't know how that happened, but I've got a few days off. And then I'll be back in on Friday for the block of the week. And don't forget the... Oh my goodness. We brought you today for the very first time hexagons by Tula Pink. It's the first time that we've been able to bring hexagons to Sewing Street, and Tula Pink, this design, the homemade design, is absolutely stunning, and these are now in single figures. So if you're interested in getting the hexagons, because they are really, really rare, you can't get them in this country very often, we've got down to single figures in that. Now that just brings me to one last thing. You may have things in your basket at the moment, that's fantastic. Until you've actually checked out, that product's not yours, so please make sure you check out on that product, because we don't want you to miss out. And the Tula Pink hexagons are now down to single figures. We don't want you to lose out, so make sure you check your basket out so no one's able to come and take that and check out before you. I can't thank you all enough for your time today. It's been wonderful to spend time with you and to be able to gush over these amazing products. I hope you have a fantastic day, stay safe, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye bye.